Hey, good afternoon, everybody. Welcome inside McKie Field at Hayden Park on a Sunday afternoon here in Oxford, Ohio. It is the fourth and final game of this series on the diamond between the Miami RedHawks and the Kent State Golden Flashes. And what a series we have seen so far here in Oxford. With Chris Vinel, Patrick Geshan with you here. Glad you're with us on Red Hawk Radio for the fourth and final game of this series. Chris, Kent State, Miami, game's getting a lot more critical as we get to the end of the MAC season here. Looking forward to this one this afternoon.
Yeah, and this is the final home series that Miami will play until late May. So They're going to spend the next month on the road. It's important to get a little momentum before that. The man responsible for it will be Tyler Bosma on the mound. He's a guy who struggled the past two times out, but overall had a pretty decent season. Last time out against Western Michigan 2 weeks ago, he struggled to locate his breaking ball and throw it around the strike zone or 4 strikes, and that led to the Broncos just kind of sitting fastball and starting to hit him hard. Only lasted 2 2/3 innings, gave up 6 runs, so looking to have a bounce-back performance today.
Yeah, the junior from Holland, Michigan will get the start on the mound today. Quickly run through the Kent State starting lineup. It's going to be Kyle Jackson hitting leadoff at third base today. Eric Wentz is DHing, batting second. In the third spot, Colin Matthews is in center field. Ben Carew is in left, batting cleanup. It is Cam Touchette. He is going to bat fifth, playing right. The catcher is Justin Minkins. He's batting sixth. Kevin Dobos will bat seventh. Today he's the second baseman. Justin Kirby is the first baseman, batting eighth, and Michael McNamara is the shortstop in the 9-hole. So we'll see Kyle Jackson step up to the plate here for Kent State as the leadoff hitter, about to start things in Oxford for Game 4 of this series. Freshman out of Bowling Green, Ohio, will dig into the left-handed batter's box. Shows bunt on the first pitch that's low for ball one from Bosma. Jackson this season a .212 hitter. And we'll swing and foul this one back to the area behind the plate for a 1-1 count. He was 1 for 4 in the game yesterday with a couple of strikeouts. Jackson was. Beautiful Sunday afternoon here in Oxford. Unlike the other couple of days we've had games at McKie Field this weekend. Soft wind blowing out to right. It's sunny. Minimal clouds in the sky. Jackson gets down the bunt, down the first baseline. Morissette will field it, and no play for the RedHawks. As Bosma was going after the ball too, Morissette pinched in from first. Both of them got to the ball, but nobody there to cover the base in time. And reaching with the bunt single to lead things off is Kyle Jackson.
Yeah, that was just into no man's land. Perfect technique by Jackson, who bunts it towards the first base side, kind of in between the mound and the first baseman Morissette. And Bosma, who, the lefty falling off the mound towards the third base side after his delivery, couldn't get there in time. Morissette had to field, and no one was covering the bag.
So not the ideal start for Bosma, as Jackson takes his leadoff first as the leadoff man. New hitters Eric Wentz DHing in the 2 spot today for Kent State. He'll show bunt, but get it off foul off of the screen behind the plate.
They must like something they see on that right side of the infield, because Wentz also tried to drag it down the first base line and just wasn't able to get the barrel on it.
Yeah, he's a left-handed hitter too. Maybe just trying to catch the RedHawks off guard. Of course, Kent State coming into this series, one of the top offensive teams in the MAC. They were batting .288 as a team coming into this 4-game set. Swing and a miss on a high fastball there from Wentz. 0-2. Or excuse me, from Bosma to Wentz. Still have Jackson over there on first base. Nobody out in the top half of the first inning between Kent State and Miami. Still scoreless, just getting going in this one. Bosma with the 0-2 to Wentz as he pauses before the stretch delivery, and that's going to be a nice pitch at the outside corner at 89 miles per hour. And Wentz retired for out number 1 in the first.
Wentz didn't have a chance there. It looked like he was sitting breaking ball, and Bosma just blew the fastball right by him.
Yeah.
No swing from Wentz, and just kind of looked at it into the catcher's glove.
So there is one out in the top half of the first inning. Colin Matthews is the new hitter for Kent State. He's in center field today. In the 3 spot this afternoon. Jackson on first base. There's one out, and the first pitch fastball on the outside corner at 89 to the right-handed Matthews.
It's interesting that the first two guys in the Kent State order were left-handed.
Right.
Against the lefty Bosma. This is the first right-handed hitter in Matthews. So Kent State obviously not worried about the lefty-righty matchups.
0-1 is on the way. And that's another beautifully placed fastball at 89 right there on the outside corner, 0-2.
And he looks to be going right after hitters with that fastball. And that's what you want to see, especially when your confidence might be a little lower after two down performances. Yep. But, you know, throw and shed.
It's not the highest velocity either that we could see at this level, but command has been there so far. 0-2 is coming to Matthews. Ground ball, third base. Nice stop there by Zapp. He's going to fire across the diamond, but everybody's safe as the throw took a couple of hops off the turf before it reached Morissette at first base. Zapp moving to his left. Got a nice play to get the ball in his glove, but the throw was kind of off and trying to hurry everything, and they're on first and second with one out in the top half of the first.
That's a tough play for Zapp to make. Hard hit ball, like you said, having to go to his left, made a diving stop, and then popped up and threw a two-hopper to Morissette at first base that pulled him just off the bag.
So defensively, the RedHawks here have run into some trouble in this first inning. Going to be a hit. They roll. Runners go. The throw here down to second base. Having to make a diving stop behind the bag was Kopicki, the shortstop, to keep the ball in the infield after Stoll's going to get wild on that throw. Kent State sending a double steal. The aggressive move there after the first pitch to Ben Carew, the cleanup hitter.
And it was kind of an aggressive or interesting move by Stoll as the catcher to throw down to second base with the guy also taking third. Typically in that situation, you go after the lead runner, and if there's no shot to get that lead runner, you just eat the ball, no throw. But this one almost thrown into center field. He almost paid for it.
So they are both in scoring position at second and third. One out in the first. Fouled back off the catcher's mitt. And behind home plate, count is 0-2 to Ben Carew. Kent State really being aggressive on offense in the early going. Couple of bunt attempts. We've seen double steal already.
What do they have to lose? You know, at this point, you're trying to get a series win, get out of here 3-1 if they win today.
Carew, redshirt senior out of Appleton, Wisconsin. 0-2 comes to him, just missing on the outside corner. Off speed that time from Bosma at 84.
Once again, Bosma working ahead in the count, though, 1-2. And he's got a couple of pitches to play around with here, so I wouldn't be shocked if he went breaking ball.
As Carew steps into the right-handed batter's box, they're on second and third with one out in the first inning. 1-2, another one just misses the outside corner, 93 on the gun. That time the fastball from Bosma.
That's the fastest we've seen him pump it up there today. 2 strikes, maybe a little adrenaline running through his veins.
He got a couple of men on. The potential of giving up some first inning runs here. 2-2 to Carew. They got the 5 spot in Cam Touchette on deck for Kent State. Delivery is fouled into the Miami dugout. Little chopper third base side out of play. So it stays at 2-2 to Ben Carew. This season he is batting .320, one of the hotter Central Michigan hitters. Scored a run in the game yesterday in 3 at-bats. Did not have a hit, though. Couple of hits in the doubleheader between both games on Friday. 2-2. Low and away on the fastball at 96. There was a check swing, and the base umpire standing near second said Carew went. I don't know, Christopher, back here, it looked like he held back, but the umpire in the field said he went, and that's a huge break for Bosma, 2 outs in the first.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. I wasn't sure that he went there, but I'm sure the RedHawks and Bosma will take the call, especially with 2 guys in scoring position. Now with 2 outs, you just go right after Touchette.
And again, they're on second base and third base. Touchette, another lefty steps in. We've seen a lot of left-handed hitters at the top of this Kent State lineup, and some chin music there on the 91-mile-per-hour fastball from Bosma up and in, 1-0. Crowd is pretty good here at McKie Field, better than some of the ones we've seen this year. With the friends and family, a nice day to come out to the ball game. 1-0 is a swing and a miss. 91-mile-per-hour fastball down Broadway to the left-handed Touchette. Cam is a graduate student out of Columbia, Illinois. Second team All-MAC back in 2019. .345 hitter this season. 1-1. Line foul on the left field line and off the batting cage building. Touchette kind of hooked that one, got a little bit of contact off the end of the bat. Count remains at 1 ball and 2 strikes. You got Matthews at second, Jackson at third base. Is Bosma here trying to get out of this inning without any run damage. It was a shaky start for him, allowing a couple base runners in the first 3 at-bats. 1-2. Swing and a miss, foul tip, actually into the mitt. And it is Bosma on the fastball at 93, gets out of this inning without allowing any runs. Kent State strands 2 men on base. To the bottom of the first we go, no score in Oxford. Between the Golden Flashes and the RedHawks, this is Miami Baseball from Red Hawk Radio. Patrick Geshan, Chris Vinel back with you here on a beautiful Sunday afternoon in Oxford, McKie Field at Hayden Park. Glad you're with us on Red Hawk Radio for Game 4 of this series between Miami and Kent State. Go through the Red Hawk lineup here prior to the top half of the first. Dalton Back is going to lead things off today for Miami. He's in left field. Will Vogelsang bats second at second base. Nate Stone is in right field. He bats third. The DH is Nick Clark. Batting fifth at center field is Benji Brokman. You have Zapp. He's the third baseman. He bats in the 7th spot today. Excuse me, that's wrong. They just changed it on the stat sheet. They flipped the lineup. It's Zapp actually batting in the 6th spot today. He's at third base. You have Billy Kopicki batting 7th at shortstop. Nate Stoles is the catcher. He bats 8th. And Morissette is at first base. He bats 9th. Of course, Bosma pitching today for the RedHawks, and Jack Cortsanes is on the mound for Kent State today. Gets the start for the Golden Flashes, Chris.
Cortsanes, a sophomore out of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, and he's been pretty good this season. 3.8 earned run average, and last time out was arguably his best outing of the season. Went 5 innings of no earned run baseball, so looking for more of that to get the series win today from Cortsanes.
So we'll see what he gives the RedHawks here. It is Dalton Back stepping in for at bat number 1 of the day for Miami. And the righty will swing the bat around here. We'll get underway in the bottom half of the first. No score, Miami at Kent State. First offering outside corner, strike 1 at 89. See if the RedHawks can get the offense going today. A little bit better than they have in other games. Grounder to shortstop. With that is McNamara, but safe pinning out the throw with great hustle is Dalton Back down the line. A routine ground ball to the shortstop. McNamara just taking his time, playing it off a couple of hops, and Back getting down the line in time.
Yeah, he backed himself into a hole where he didn't charge the baseball. Kind of sat back on it, and the throw was too late with Back running down the line pretty hard.
Vogelsang, the next hitter. Always like to mention he's a McNicholas rocket. His Back is on first base. Vogelsang shows butt. They throw it over to first. His Back kind of jumped off the bag a little bit too far there. He's back in time, and Vogelsang will take strike one off the bunt attempt.
That seems to be kind of a daily event for Vogelsang. He'll go up first at bat, maybe second at bat. He'll show bunt. Half the time lay one down. I mean, he's kind of a wizard with the bat in his hands, always making contact, always fouling off pitches, working deep in accounts, and he'll lay down a pretty perfect bunt most of the time.
Check over to back at first base. He is in there in time. For Vogelsang this season offensively, .333 average. Had a hit in the game yesterday. Actually went 3 for 3 in the second part of that doubleheader on Friday. Pitch is outside. It's 1-1 at 91 on the gun that time from Kortsanis.
Back, not much of a threat to go at first base. He's only has 2 stolen base chances on the year, but he did convert both of them.
Another check over to him, and he's back in time. They seem to be kind of concerned about him.
Speed-wise, I'd be more concerned about the guy at the plate right now.
Right. Trying to prevent him from getting on the base pass. 1-1 to Vogelsang. In the dirt. It is 2-1, kind of a low 81-mile-per-hour pitch there. Maybe Kortsanis going for some breaking action.
A former teammate of Will Vogelsang's once referred to him as the fastest man on the planet, which I think might be a little bit of an exaggeration, but I'm sure Will will take that.
Yeah. Back, safe again on the third check over the at-bat by Kortsanis. Back's leadoff really isn't that big either. 2-1 is on its way from stretch. Low and away, gets behind the catcher, moving to second is back. He'll round the bag without a throw. And he's at second base in scoring position, nobody out.
Isn't it funny how baseball works? I mean, you check on the runner 15 or so times, and then, you know, it doesn't even matter. He just takes second base on a ball in the dirt. No throw, easy trot down there for back.
Yeah. His Makins that time just unable to handle that low pitch. 3-1 to Vogelsang. With back now at second. Taking his time is Kortsanis. Delivery coming. Vogelsang showed bunt, pulled it back. The pitch outside, ball 4. And they're on first and second with nobody out in the bottom half of the first inning as Vogelsang draws the walk.
And now, as we saw with Bosma in the top half of the first inning, now Kortsanis having to work out a little bit of trouble here. And Miami with a chance to jump all over Kent State with some runs here in the first inning.
So stepping in is Nate Stone, the lefty, at right field today. Couple of ducks on the pond. Nobody's out in the bottom half of the first inning. First offering, Stone shows bunt, pulls it back. The pitch inside at 91. And it's 1-0.
That's one thing I love about Danny Hayden and his coaching style. He just gave the bunt sign to his 3-hole hitter with 2 guys on base and nobody out in the first inning. Doesn't matter where you hit in the lineup, he emphasizes the same exact things. Plate discipline and just getting runs any way you can.
309 is the average this season for Stone. Another bunt shown, and this is up the first baseline, but fell after it went off the bat.
If he's able to get one down the first base line, they only have a play at first base. They're not going to be able to get Vogelsang running to second or back going to third if the bunt's pretty well executed. So I like the idea here. You know, it puts 2 runners in scoring position with only 1 out.
And your cleanup man coming up in Nick Clark.
And your cleanup man coming up.
1-1 is on the way. You got back at second, Vogelsang at first. Stone awaits. Outside, 2-1, 81 on the gun that time. Must be a little slider, breaking ball that Kortsanis is throwing every once in a while.
And that was right off the outside corner. It's a very hard spot, a very hard ball to bunt, especially down the first base line. So a little bit of strategy there probably from Kortsanis, and back not even showing bunt there.
2-1. As Kortsanis checks to second base. High fly ball. It's popped up to second as it's Dobis over there behind the bag to make the catch. Infield fly rule is in effect, so they stay at first and second. And there's one out in the bottom half of the first is Nick Clark, the cleanup man, coming up. So Stone will go back to the dugout, maybe not accomplishing exactly what he wanted there in that AB, but still another chance here for the cleanup man in Clark. Freshman out of Willowick, Ohio. Kortsanis, couple checks back at second. Pitches down and in. Another one of those breaking balls at 81. As the season, Clark comes in with the average of 154. Did appear in the game yesterday against Kent State. Had an at-bat. So that was a strikeout. One-0. Another inside pitch, 89. And it's 2-0. Is that down and in? Says a lot about Danny Hayden's faith in Nick Clark, up-and-coming player on this RedHawks team. Put him in the cleanup spot in what is kind of an important game for your morale at this point in the season. Of course, like you mentioned, RedHawks headed to the road for a long stretch of time here in the few upcoming weeks.
Nice vacation as it gets warm.
Yeah. To Bowling Green.
It's not where you would go?
Fun places. I don't know. I mean, maybe for a weekend, like they're going.
Yeah, why not?
There's something going on, like a baseball series.
My mom went to Bowling Green, and you know what the annual event is there? The big annual event, the tractor pulling competition. That's big league.
Yeah. 2-0 is coming to Clark as Kortsanis still concerned about the runner at second base. Pitches outside, 3-0. I mean, that sounds like a fun weekend event. Go up for the tractor pull.
Oh, it's gotta be. It's gotta be. You're gonna see some things there that would be pretty fun, pretty entertaining, I'd imagine.
RedHawks going to Mount Pleasant too on the schedule. Play Central in a series. Inside corner on the 3-0. It's 3-1 to Clark. With again a runner on first, runner on second, one out in the bottom half of the first inning. No score, Kent State and Miami.
This is an important pitch for Kortsanis. 3-1 to the cleanup hitter. As he looks in for the sign. Check back to second with the head delivery from the stretch inside corner. And it's 3-2. You couldn't make a better pitch than that. Right at the knees, inside corner, just painting the black with the fastball, and now you've got him in a 3-2 count. That changes everything because you can go either breaking ball or fastball here. So the freshman Clark will look at the payoff here from Kortsanis. Swing and a miss. Fastball high and away at 86. Got him to chase. And there's 2 outs in the bottom half of the first inning. You know, a minute ago I was just about to criticize Kortsanis a little bit for, not going after hitters like Bosma was when he got in trouble. Yeah. Well, now he comes back 2 straight fastballs against Clark, blows him right by him, and now there are 2 down, and he's on the verge of getting out of trouble with no harm done. I was thinking the same thing. He was kind of just pitching around guys. First few at-bats. This is Brokemon, and the pitch skips off the plate, goes toward the Miami dugout. Runners are going to move up. You get back now at third, Vogelsang at second, and they are at those positions with 2 out in the bottom half of the first inning. There's Brokemon, the utility man for the RedHawks. He's in center field today. We've seen Brokemon a lot of times leading off the ball game, hitting right above Will Vogelsang, and he's another guy who's always making contact and has really good plate discipline. So, the RedHawks probably like him in this spot because they're going to get a hard hit ball, or they're at least going to get a quality at bat out of him. Time is called by Justin Minkins, the Kent State catcher. Will have a little meeting at the mound here before they continue pitching to Brokemon, who has the 1-0 count. He's the redshirt freshman of South Holland, Illinois, and Brokemont this season comes in with a .296 average. Broekman to me is almost like Will Vogelsang's little brother. As I was saying earlier, I mean, plate discipline and hard contact with Vogelsang and a lot of speed. You get the same thing with Broekman.
Right.
And so, you know, if I were Kartsanis, and then I would be telling him this if I was the pitching coach for Kent State, just go right after him. You know, there's no use in nibbling around the plate because he's probably going to take a ball if it's a ball, and if it's a strike, he's going to swing on it. So why not go for the swing anyway?
Yep. So we'll see what the meeting did for Kartsanis. 1-0-2 Broekman with 2 outs. Shows bunt, gets it down, third base line, but quickly foul. That's an interesting call. But of course, Broekman's speed could beat that throw in at first base.
With 2 outs, you're really gambling on his speed and just good placement for the bunt. I don't mind the idea, but it's probably not where I would go, especially with your 5-hole hitter.
Right. So they go for that gamble here early in the count. It's 1-1. Kartsanis looking in for the sign. Long delay between him looking at the sign, kind of going into that pre-stretch position. Ground ball, hard one to second. Dobos, the routine play to first. That does it for the bottom half of the first inning. So the RedHawks strand 2 men. They're at second and third. As Broekman grounds into second to end the inning, and we still have no score after the first here in Oxford. Back with the second in a moment. You're listening to Miami Baseball on Red Hawk Radio. No score, Miami at Kent State. Second inning, about to get started here at McKie Field in Oxford. Patrick Geshan, Chris Vinel are with you on Red Hawk Radio. Good Sunday afternoon matchup we have here. Both teams avoiding trouble on the defensive side of things. A couple of base runners for both teams offensively in that first inning that were stranded, but no runs resulting from either team. Catcher is up for Kent State and Justin Minkins, and he'll take the first one low at 1-0. Tyler Bosma is back out there for inning of work number 2. Low strike and 90 on the fastball, 1-1. Bosma, the lefty, pitching to another lefty hitter in Minkins. Line shot, shallow left field, and the shortstop moving back, and Kopicki to make the grab. Kind of a weak little liner that Kopicki able to handle, moving behind him into the turf, and there's 1 out.
Yeah, that ball just kind of hung up there in the air, and Kopicki was just able to backpedal a few steps and reach up and grab it.
So Dobos is up here. He is the 7 hitter for Kent State. First delivery from Bosma is going to be outside for a 1-0 count. Dobos, the redshirt senior out of Marvin, North Carolina. They list him as a catcher. He's playing second base today, and a swing and a miss On an off speed, it's 1-1. Dobas hits 175 this season. Did have an RBI in the game yesterday against Miami. Outside fastball, 2-1. So Bosma in his initial fastballs in that first inning was in the upper 80s. He's now in the low 90s consistently. 2-1. This is line into center field. Will get down for a hit in front of Brokemont. And that is hit number 3 for Kent State on the day. Pretty standard base hit to center, and Dobos is aboard with 1 out in the second.
Bosma kept peppering him with breaking balls, and then finally he gets a fastball and jumps all over it. Deposits a line drive into center field.
Pretty solidly hit ball there, so it's going to be Justin Kirby now for Kent State. He's at first base today, with Dobas on first and 1 out here in the top half of the second. First delivery's inside and a little bit low, 1-0. Another fastball that time to Kirby. He is a 5'11", 200 junior out of Alpharetta, Georgia. MAC Freshman of the Year in 2019. 219 hitter this season. They check back. Pretty slow throw over there to first base where Dobas is back in time. Kent State out hitting Miami 3-1 in this top half of the second. Bosma stares in, 1-0 on the way. Line sharply but foul first base side into the Golden Flashes bullpen.
Little hit and run attempt with 1 out as Dobos took off towards second base. He's not really a stolen base guy. 4 tries on the year, only 1 successful.
Bosma will deliver pitch number 27 of the outing here. 1-1 to Kirby. Long steer over to first. This is a fly ball, right field, kind of shallow, toward the foul line. Moving over there is Stone. He'll make the catch. As the RedHawks track that one down. Moving back to first base is Dobas. He'll stay there. There's 2 down in the second. So that ball kind of carried in the wind a little bit as the wind moving out toward right field from left. And good job by Stone going over there to track that one down. McNamara in the 9 spot today for Kent State is to the plate. Michael, the shortstop today for the Golden Flashes. He'll show bunt and get this one foul off the screen behind the plate after making contact on that attempt. Freshman out of Cleveland, Ohio is McNamara. Played at St. Ignatius, that infamous school. 261 hitter this season. 0-1 to him with Dobas on first. 2 outs here in the second. Beautiful pitch there, just missing on the outside corner. Fastball at 89.
The RedHawks have a pretty big shift on for McNamara, with the second baseman Vogelsang playing almost where a shortstop typically would. Zap, the third baseman, playing right on the line, and the shortstop Kopicki playing shallow left field.
It's interesting. So the entire right side of the infield is pretty much open. Ground ball right into that shift. Kind of fighting over it there. The shortstop able to make the play. Kopicki, as he was one of those RedHawks stationed on the left side of the infield, made the throw to first to retire McNamara in time for the out. To the bottom of the second we go. Miami and Kent State are scoreless. This is Miami Baseball on Red Hawk Radio. Brian Zapp is the hitter up for the RedHawks in the 7th spot today. We'll lead things off for Miami here in the bottom half of the second. Patrick Geshan, Chris Vinel are with you from McKie Field. Beautiful Sunday afternoon. Temperatures reaching the 60s. And right now, not a cloud in the sky. Zapp will swing on the first one. Ground ball right to the first baseman. Kirby steps on the bag. 1 out.
Zapp just not able to get the barrel on that one as he goes first pitch swinging. Got a fastball up in the zone. Weak ground ball to first base, though.
So here is Kopicki. He is the shortstop today for Miami, and will take this one right off the shoulder on the first pitch from Cortsanis. So he'll reach on the hit by pitch. Not sure if that was a breaking ball that didn't break or kind of lost control of it. Radar gun said 76.
Definitely a breaking ball. I think he just lost control of it, went up and in, and wasn't able to bring it back out over the plate.
So you got Stoles coming up here for the RedHawks. And first delivery to him is just a little bit high, 89 that time on the gun.
We saw Cortsanis in the first inning really worry about a runner on first base. Let's see what he does with Kopicki here. Another guy who's not too much of a stolen base threat. 2 for 6 this year in his opportunities.
1-0 is in the air and fouled behind home plate. So the 1-1 count to Stoles, the catcher. He has an interesting hometown, Urbandale, Iowa. 1-1 is inside, and it's 2-1.
Stoles didn't move on that delivery, and he almost got plunked with a breaking ball that didn't break. Another one that was just inside, and Cortsanis, I guess it shows a little faith in that breaking ball to throw it near the inside corner, but he's got to be careful.
2-1, hard fastball. This one lifted to left. It's going to stay in the yard. Routine fly ball for Carew to make the grab. Didn't have to move too far for that one. A few steps in front of him and to his left, and there's 2 outs here in the second. So that keeps the Miami base runner in Kopicki at first. And you have the 9 spot in Moore's setup now. Lefty digs in here with 2 outs, man on in the bottom half of the second inning. Pitch is outside, up and away. 1-0.
Morse, that's kind of an interesting hitter. He's a guy who really has not hit well for average this year, down below 150. But when he does get a hold of it, he's got light tower power. 6 of his 13 hits on the year have gone for extra bases.
Ground ball, nice leap on the hop by Kirby to make the stop. Tap on the bag for out number 3. A web jet play there. As that ball hopped very high in the air, Kirby the leap, got it in the glove, and stepped on first base to retire the side here in the second. RedHawks quiet pretty much offensively in inning number 2. We go to the third with no score between Miami and Kent State. This is Miami Baseball on Red Hawk Radio. Patrick Geshan, Chris Vinel are with you on a Sunday afternoon at McKie Field, Hayden Park in Oxford. This fourth game of the series between Kent State and Miami. Top of the third inning is getting underway. Back to the top of the order we go for the Golden Flashes, and Kyle Jackson, the lefty, steps in. Had a bunt single his last time up, and this time up gets drilled on the first pitch from Bosma.
I was literally just about to say, Bosma, it has to feel good the start he's off to, even though he was in a little bit of trouble in the first inning, worked out of it, and has thrown 2 scoreless frames after a tough 2 last times out. But, you know, now he starts another inning.
I know.
A little bit of trouble possibly brewing. See how he works out here.
Has to come from behind. You got Wentz up now for Kent State. Struck out looking his last time up. And he'll show bunt again. Get a beautiful one down the first base line. Bosma fields it, flips to first. They get the out there, moving to third base. It tagged out without. Well, that was kind of a stupid move. It was a very aggressive one there as Jackson rounded second, went right to third on the bunt play, and the throw came in 3 seconds before Jackson even got to third base.
As that ball was bunted, I was like, yes, what a great move by Kent State. The runner was stealing on the pitch, and then he turned. He got a little too confident, turned and tried to make it to third, was out by about a step.
This pitch is well high, and it goes off the netting behind the plate. Slipped out of Bosma's hand there, and the dugout is making fun of him a little bit.
Gotta love that, right?
Of his own team, yeah. This is Matthews up for Kent State. There's 2 outs in the third. Ground ball right back to Bosma. Fields it with a glove, flip to first. That does it for the third. So it didn't look promising to start, but he got out of it. And one of the quickest innings in this game, maybe the quickest, the top half of the third inning. They go 1, 2, 3 kind of, minus the hit by pitch. Went by fast. To the bottom of the third we go. Kent State, Miami are scoreless. This is Miami Baseball on Red Hawk Radio. Bottom half of the third about to get started. Patrick Geshan, Chris Vinel are with you from McKie Field. Wind picking up a little bit as we start this bottom half of the third inning. You got the top of the order again up for the RedHawks, and Dalton back. Fouls the first one off. Third base side of the play. It's 0-1. Little gust coming through the park here. Another high fly ball, but it's foul. That's going to hit a car out there in the parking lot down the right field line. It might bounce up to the psychology building, too, the way that was hit.
Don't wish that on anyone. Matter of fact, yeah, it's going to hit a car out there.
Because someday it's going to be my car, if you say that.
Hey, you got to be strategic about it. I parked in the garage for a reason. I'll pay a little extra.
I go the back row.
Smart man.
0-2 is outside. It is 1 ball and 2 strikes. RedHawks are 5-5 in their past 10, so it's been an okay stretch. 1-2, a little chopper, third base side, bare hand fielded by the pitcher, but the throw is not going to get there in time as Cortsanis. Nice job coming off the hill, moving to his right. basically made the throw with his momentum going the other way from first base, right on the third base line, and able to beat it out for the infield singles back. The leadoff man, his second hit of the day.
And that's his second infield hit of the day where he just beat the throw to first base. We saw it the first inning on the play to shortstop, and now we see it back to the pitcher, Cortsana. And he almost made a great play barehanded on that ball down the third base line.
Was able to pick it up off the hop with the bare hand. Vogelsang is up now, man on first, nobody out. The pitch is outside at 95 on the gun.
I think that's the fastest fastball we've seen from him today.
Yeah.
95's getting it done.
It is. One 0 comes here. It's outside and away. 2-0 at 88.
Vogelsang, just like in his first at bat with back on first, he threatens the bunt, ultimately pulled it back, and is now working ahead in the count on the pitcher. 2-0.
Cortsanis from the stretch. Ground ball foul, third base side. Skips its way out into the outfield. So Vogelsang the McNick route. I actually did McNick baseball the other day. They lost to Baden 10-0 in a run rule. It's not been the hottest year for the Rockets. Check back to first, and back is there okay? You're an Elder Panther, right?
Oh, absolutely. Proud.
Proud.
Proud Elder Panther. No Elder guys on this team right now, unfortunately. We do have a couple of GCL boys in the Wardwell brothers who both went to LaSalle.
2-1. Swing and a miss. Yes, that was a down and away pitch. Vogelsang reached for that one. Maybe a breaking ball that kind of fooled him. 2-2. Will went down to both knees that time after swinging. Back is on first, nobody out in the bottom half of the third. Kent State, Miami are scoreless. Game 4 of the series. Ground ball sharply hit to shortstop. McNamara handles it. The flip to second for one. Throw to first. Took a couple of hops through the dirt and is not there in time. So Vogelsang will reach on the fielder's choice. They get the force play over at second. And Back is retired with that. One out in the third.
Back could have made that a way tougher play at second base. He started to steal on the pitch and then took a step and held up. And he was out by about 5 steps at second base. If he was going all the way and fully committed, it would have been a tough play at second.
New hitter's Nate Stone. Flew out to second base. Runner goes, throw down to second. Vogelsang slides in before it gets there. He's safe. Great head-first dive into second base by Vogelsang. Went on the first pitch to Stone. Wasn't a bad throw for Minkins either, but stolen base for the RedHawks puts Vogelsang in scoring position.
He wasted 0 time there going on the first pitch, and now it gives Stone an opportunity to hit, pretty much have a full at-bat here with a runner in scoring position. It also eliminates the double play ball.
So the aggressiveness pays off. Cortsanis is glancing over at Vogelsang, is kind of fooling around with him over there at second base, and Stone calls time at the plate. Vogelsang was kind of hopping back and forth.
Little dance routine off second base. Shortstop playing pretty much right behind him, so a throw is possible.
1-0. Cortsanis still glancing over there. Vogelsang in his routine. The pitch, line, right field. That's going to get down for the base hit. Vogelsang being waved around. The throw is going to be cut off at first base. It is 1-0 RedHawks. The RBI single by Nate Stone into right. And Miami breaks the ice in this one in the bottom half of the third.
And that's where the stolen base was so huge. And it's a matter of, Vogelsang didn't even hit the ball out of the infield. He hit into a fielder's choice, and it's just a matter of get him on, get him over, and get him in. That's exactly what the RedHawks did with the last 2 batters.
So the offense will continue here with the runner at first base in Nate Stone. Swinging a foul back to the screen, maybe some hit and run that time as Stone was on his way to second after Nick Clark swung for strike one.
Third baseman playing far in, well inside the bag at third base, so we've seen the RedHawks' tendency or willingness to bunt, maybe playing for that a little bit with a runner on first base.
Jackson's moving a little bit back now into the dirt area. Check back to the runner on first. He's in time. Two in the bag. Clark did strike out swinging his last time up. Count is 0-1. Swing and a miss. That was a looping curveball at 79. Out in front of that one, 0-2. Still up Stone over there on first base. Staring in for the sign is Cortsanis on the hill. 0-2 coming up. Swing and a miss. 81 on the gun that time. Off speed. Gets the batter in Nick Clark, his second strikeout of the day. 2 down in the third.
Cortsanis had Clark right in the palm of his hand there. The Kent State pitcher now across 40 pitches. He's thrown 42 pitches. 24 of them have been strikes, so not a great percentage, but he went right after Clark there. 3 straight strikes.
Strike one on the outside corner. 80-mile-per-hour pitch to Brokman. Benji up here with 2 outs. Still has Stone over on first base. Lined a sharp ground ball to the shortstop. McNamara to first for the easy play. Throw a little low, but a nice pick there by Kirby to grab it out of the dirt. And there's out number 3 here of the bottom half of the third inning. RedHawks do get a run across, though. The RBI single by Nate Stone. That scored Vogel saying it's 1-0 Miami here after 3 from McKie Field. To the 4th we go after this. You're listening to Miami Baseball on Red Hawk Radio. Patrick Geshan and Chris Vinel are back with you here. Top of the 4th, about to get underway between Miami and Kent State. Chris Vinel takes over the play-by-play.
Thanks, Patrick. Hello, everybody. Thanks again for tuning in here on Red Hawk Radio. We've got on and gets one down the third base line, but it rolls foul for strike one. Bosma, 37 pitches, 27 strikes. So kind of in contrast to his last 2 starts, really going after hitters today. Good fastball, breaking ball mix from him. Second pitch to Carew is slapped foul on a line down the right field line and out of play. Oh-2, he's got a couple of pitches to play around with here. Bosma, the 0-2. This one is also slapped foul off a light pole. Out of play. That one had the parking lot written all over it, as we talked about earlier. That was car seeking. Somebody got lucky.
Light pole's a savior. If you tried to do that 100 times, fell off the light pole, you would not be able to do it.
We gotta watch ourselves over here. That came back with a vengeance too. Came about 100 miles an hour off the pole as Bosma, for the first time this at bat, goes breaking ball outside off the plate. 80 miles an hour there. And a 1-2 count.
Would pick it up a little bit. Sorry to cut you off there, but it's been a little bit more gusty last few innings.
It's getting kind of cold out here, even with the sun beating down. Bosma goes breaking ball once again and fools him. Check swing, he went around. So Carew is retired on 4 pitches. Good at bat there from Bosma.
That's our cleanup man today. Just the way Bosma can go after him with the different pitch selection. Took Bosma maybe a little bit to find his comfort zone in this one, but I think he's there at this point.
And it really is the comfort with the breaking ball that hasn't been there for Bosma. He's got it back today, and the ability to throw that around the plate as he throws a fastball just a little bit low at 91 on the first pitch to Touchette. It's really a confidence booster when you can throw both pitches 4 strikes. And
right.
Gives you the ability to mix it up and just changes your whole approach, really. Hitters can't sit fastball. Speaking of fastball, here's one inside at 89 to Touchette. 2-0 now the count, excuse me. Miami in at the corners, perhaps awaiting a bunt attempt. Middle infielder is just a little bit back, right on the edge of the grass, as Bosma steps back onto the mound and looks in for the sign. Wasting no time, he's into his windup, and this one is grounded up the middle. Second baseman Vogelsang fields, now throws across his body to Morissette for the out. Good play there by Vogelsang, the second baseman.
Just moved to his right, able to grab that ball basically behind second base, and then was able to make a strong throw off balance to get the runner at first.
I think that's one of those plays where Vogelsang's shortstop play or shortstop pass has come into play there. You know, he's got a strong arm, and he's really comfortable working around the second base bag due to his past of playing both middle infield positions. So here's Mickness. The first pitch to him is in there for a called strike on the breaking ball. Taking all the way was Mickness. Lefty versus lefty matchup. Mickness also 0 for 1 on the day. This one is driven deep into this left center field gap. Broekman ranging over and taking care of it for out number 3. So another quick inning for Tyler Bosma. We'll head to the bottom of the 4th. 1-0 Miami on Red Hawk Radio. Little bit of a pitcher's duel here in Oxford, Ohio on a sunny Sunday afternoon. Series finale between Miami and Kent State, and it's 1-0 Red Hawks right now. Carsana is still on the mound for the Golden Flashes, entering his 4th inning of work, and both starters really kind of dealing at this point. Both are under 50 pitches, and we'll see what Carsana has in store for the bottom of the 4th inning. Here with Brian Zapp, the 3rd baseman for the Red Hawks, leading off.
Really efficient starts today. And of course, you remember both pitchers had kind of a shaky first inning, a couple of runners stranded on base by both teams, but they seem to recover from that.
Well, the fact that they were able to get out of that unscathed, I think, is a confidence booster and kind of lends itself to what you were saying as the first pitch to Zapp is in there. 86-mile-an-hour fastball on the inside corner.
Different pitches are working too, right? The breaking balls are working well, fastballs, so everything's working.
Absolutely. Another fastball there, up and out of the zone at 87 miles an hour to Zapp. Zapp 0 for 1 on the day. Grounded out to the third baseman his first time up. This one is driven into the left center field gap. No one's going to catch that one as it will leave the ballpark just over the 376 sign in left center field, and Brian Zapp has made this a 2-0 ball game. His third home run of the season, RBI number 15, and he got all of that, baby.
All of it. Drill it kind of between that 376 and 400 sign left center. Huge swing for the Redhawks. A little bit of breathing room, too, at 2-0 now.
That's got to feel good because they've had guys on base against Kartsanis and have only been able to scratch across a run. He seemed to retire kind of any little bit of momentum they've gotten. Now we'll see how he responds here after giving up the long ball. First pitch to the shortstop, Kopicki, is up and in, a fastball. 4-1. Working quickly is Kartsanis. He now deals down and away outside the zone again with a breaking ball. Kartsanis, at least more so than Bosma, has been effectively wild. He hasn't been all over the place, but as that fastball is in there at 87, outer third. He does have a little bit lower of a strike percentage than Bosma today. Kicks and deals. That one is on the outside corner, 88 miles an hour, right at the knees. 2-2 now, the count to Miami's shortstop. Kopicki, the first time up, got plunked with a pitch right on the shoulder. It was a breaking ball that didn't really break. 2-2 the count to him. This one is a little blooper that will be caught in the air by the shortstop. So McNamara retires that one for out number 1. And we will go to Nate Stoles, the catcher.
It's kind of a little routine play there. Easy for McNamara to handle. Took about 4 steps inward, maybe to his left a little bit. Just a little pop-up flooper thing.
little nubber, whatever you want to call it.
Everybody has their word.
First pitch to Stoles is lined down the left field line, but foul and out of play. Kartsanis just sawed off Kopicki on there. Right in on the handle. Stoles with an 0-1 count now. 1 out in the inning. Miami leading 2-0 after the Zapp home run, and the second pitch to Stoles is outside. The 1-1. This one is grounded very hard down past the third base coach and head coach, Danny Hayden, and he gets acrobatic down there. He'll try to make a play on some of those, and it's hilarious to watch. Every once in a while he'll make a play, and if he makes it, you know, he gets applause from his dugout. If he doesn't, he gets booed or jeered in some fashion.
You have to be athletic if you're a third base coach.
You have to. He played college baseball as this one is grounded in between the shortstop and the third baseman. Third baseman fields and throws wide of first base. Unable to get Stoles running down, and he will be safe at first base.
It was just a great spin-around play by Jackson over there. He fields it, moving to his left, makes the spin-around move, tries to get the right-handed throw over to first base, but just to the left of Kirby, who tried his best to stretch out for that one off the top of his glove and kind of skittered it toward the Kent dugout. See, I feel bad for Jackson. There's such a great defensive effort. Doesn't quite work out.
Yeah, it was almost a really good play, and I don't think he deserves an error on that one. We'll see what they score it. As this one plunks Morissette right on the leg, and so he'll trot on down to first base, and now the RedHawks have runners on first and second with 1 out. And the scary part about this is the top of the lineup is coming back up with Dalton back.
Right. As McNiss comes out to the mound, tries to calm Kartsanis down. We do have some action in the Kent bullpen now, Chris. Somebody just got up. Looks like it's number 22.
First time today we've seen action in the Golden Flashes bullpen, and Kartsanis, he's done a good job today, as we've talked at length about. Now dealing with some trouble here in the 4th, though, giving up his second run of the ball game. His first pitch to Dalton back on the way, and it's low, a breaking ball in the dirt. Both runners hold where they are as the ball squirts away from catcher McNiss, but he's able to hop on it quickly. not blazing speed on the base paths with Stoles at second and Morissette at first. Leads are pretty small. The 1-0-2 back is driven down the right field line. It'll get foul and out of play.
Just for the record, that Kent State pitcher in the bullpen is Max Ripple. He's a junior out of Fort Myers, Florida.
Another right-hander for Kent State. Cortzana's really just one ground ball double play away from getting out of this inning. 1 out, 1-1 pitch. 2 back. That one is just low. 86-mile-an-hour fastball there, and Mickness, the catcher, held on to it for just an extra second, giving the home plate umpire a good look at it. Infield at normal position for Kent State. Second baseman actually shading a little bit towards the second base bag. This one is grounded to third base. He's going to tag the runner out there and now throw to first. The throw pulls the first baseman off the bag, leading to back getting in there safely. So they trade an out for no runner movement there. Still runners on first and second now with 2 out.
I guess for Kent State, you'll take it?
I think you take it. You take the out, right?
I mean,
you're just trading runners off.
You just have one runner in scoring position still instead of, second and third or something like that.
It was a good thought by Jackson.
Right.
And a good throw there gets him. So Will Vogelsang now. Swinging for the fences there and came up empty on an 80-mile-an-hour breaking ball. He wanted that one.
He's one of those guys where he's not afraid to go down on like all fours trying to swing for a pitch.
Maximum effort. Maximum effort. He's reached both times at the plate. The first time up, he walked, and the last time up, he hit into a fielder's choice, but came around to score the first run of the ball game for the RedHawks. The 0-1 to him is swung on again and missed. That's one of the rare times I've seen Vogelsang swing and miss at a ball well outside the strike zone. He typically doesn't offer at those, as he's now sitting in an 0-2 hole with 2 outs and 2 runners on.
Just wants a ribby.
Long look in by Cortzanos, who's 1 strike away from getting out of this with minimal damage done. He kicks and deals. This one is skied towards right field, curling foul, and goes just past the bullpen, out of play of Kent State.
It's amazing, Chris, those fly balls to right that are foul, they kind of hang right on the line, and then once they get kind of past, I don't know, a certain point, maybe the Kent State bullpen, they just hook right in the wind to the right.
That's a great point, and you're definitely right. We've seen about 5 of those and just a couple in this half inning.
It's like maybe and then foul.
We'll try the 0-2 again to Vogelsang. Here it is. This one is grounded to third. Another shot for Jackson. He bobbles, now picks it back up, and fires on to first for the out. So good recovery by Jackson and Kent State. Miami adds 1, but it's 2-0 RedHawks as we go to the 5th on Red Hawk Radio. Tyler Bosma back out for his 5th inning of work, now dealing with an extra run of support after the Brian Zapp home run in the bottom of the 4th inning. Bosma sitting at 46 pitches. Pretty efficient so far, and he's been in a little bit of trouble, but he's gotten out of it each time. Still scoreless is Kent State. The first pitch of the inning from Bosma is in there for a called strike at 88 miles an hour. It's Dobus, the second baseman, who's 1 for 1 on the day. He's singled all the way back in the 2nd inning. Miami is out hitting Kent State right now, 4 hits to 3, but they do have the advantage in the run category, 2-0, as that pitch, another fastball there, is just a little bit low. 1-1 count. Kirby waiting on deck. This one is a fastball in the dirt at 91, added a little extra mustard there, but wasn't able to find the zone as a result. I think even since we talked about it the last half inning, Patrick, the wind is picking up even more.
Yeah.
I'm a little chilly out here, dude.
It's been like a gradual crescendo.
Fastball in there for a strike, evens the count at 2-2. It wouldn't be Miami baseball if we didn't have some sort of weird weather. Like, it can never just be sunny and 70 degrees, no wind or anything. It's got to be extremely windy. It's got to be rainy. It's got to be cloudy of some sort. The 2-2. Missing down and away is Bosma. That runs the count full.
Even growing up, coming to these games, and I was, elementary, middle school, even high school, like, I don't have any memories really of it being just a beautiful sunny day. Like, it's always some, rain or clouds, wind.
The 3-2. That one is just missing upstairs, and Dobus will run on down to first base with a walk. Good at bat there. Good plate discipline. Yeah, I mean, we both grew up in Southwest Ohio, and neither of us are accustomed to normal weather. We've talked about that probably on air, too, with Jack Schmelzinger, another guy who calls games for us on Red Hawk Radio. He's from up there in Buffalo, New York. So
where it's cloudy all the time.
It's cloudy all the time. It
snows every day in the winter. So that's all he knows. He knows what to expect. We
have
never
no
know
idea.
They can't even predict it.
Not a clue. The first pitch to Kirby is outside, so Bosma having a little bit of trouble finding the zone in the last couple of pitches. 1-0 the count to the first baseman of Kent State. Dobus on first. On the season, he only has 1 stolen base. Average size lead out there, and he doesn't go anywhere on the second pitch. It's a breaking ball on the outer third at 83 miles an hour for a strike. Not many RedHawks wearing sleeves out there today, or long sleeves, I should say, as Bosma throws the 1-1. That's in there, another breaking ball for a strike, down and away. RedHawks wearing their white tops with the red pants. Pretty much all the RedHawks also wearing knee-high socks.
It's the old-fashioned look.
It's a pretty good look. Miami, we've talked about this before, but Miami has some pretty good uniform looks.
They do.
Kent State rocking the all-yellow. And rung up is Kirby, a nasty breaking ball that started away and just came right back over the plate for strike 3.
Nasty is a really good word to describe that. I mean, that ball just kind of went all over the place and ended up on the inside corner.
And that's really been the difference today for Bosma.
Yep.
Having command of that sharp breaking ball. Attacking hitters with the fastball and then pulling the hook. He's going to throw over to first base, check on Zobus. It's almost like a lollygag soft toss over to the first base. It's a half-hearted move from Bosma. We've only seen that once or twice in this game. McNamara, the shortstop, right-handed hitter, at the plate now. In his first at-bat, he grounded out to his opposite number, the shortstop, Kopicki. First pitch to him is off the plate away. 89 mile an hour there on the fastball. Once again, an extreme shift for him, and this is the only time we've seen that from Miami. They've got 3 guys on the left side of the second base bag as Vogelsang, the second baseman, is pulled over to where the shortstop typically is, as that ball is in the dirt, 4-2. Kopicki, the shortstop, playing in shallow left field, kind of in the hole between shortstop and third base, and Brian Zapp, the third baseman, hugging the line. Lots of room where the second baseman typically plays, as Morissette, the first baseman, holds Dobas, the runner, on at first. Bosma looks that way and now delivers upstairs with a fastball at 90 miles an hour. 3-0 the count now.
I mean, even 20 years ago, did you see shifts like this in college baseball? Did you have the technology or the knowledge of hitters, the video, the internet? Like, it's just kind of a new thing, right?
Well, even when we were growing up, 10 years ago, I don't think we saw it in Major League Baseball, and certainly not in college baseball, as Bosma delivers an 87-mile-an-hour get-me-over fastball, 4-strike-1.
I mean, how long until college baseball is like that, where we shift for every hitter?
Every hitter.
I mean, it's going to get there, do you think, eventually?
I think you're probably right, or at least to where, the MLB standard is. I read an article the other day as Bosma delivers the 3-1, and he walked him with a fastball upstairs. So runners will be on first and second with 2 outs, and the top of the lineup turning over. I was reading an article the other day that said the shifts essentially killed Jay Bruce's career. The left-handed hitter and former Cincinnati Red who retired last weekend, currently in his 14th season with the New York Yankees. It was written by Tom Verducci of SI, and he was talking about how, Jay Bruce he hit like 281 or something in his second or third season, and as the years progressed and every year the shift against him, the shift percentage went up, his batting average just plummeted. And I think the stat was something like 45% of all hitters are now shifted against, which is just insane. I mean,
I believe it.
It essentially kills what you view as a natural baseball position. The second baseman now isn't just lining up in between the first baseman and second base. It's now, okay, you play almost where the shortstop does sometimes. You play in short right field, depending on the batter. It's all over the place. Lefty, righty, it doesn't matter. Yeah, I think that's just kind of the evolution of baseball and the analytical nature or the analytical avenue we're going down, especially with Miami. Miami embraces that.
Well, it's such a big part of their student manager program. I mean, that's just state of the art in and of itself. The amount of video those kids watch and the scouting they do for every single player on the opposing teams, it's amazing. The operation that they have is really cool.
And Danny Hayden's brought that to the RedHawks since he took over about a half-decade ago, and really it's been for the better, as Miami's been competitive really every season he's been at the helm, especially the last 3 or 4. So as the mound visit breaks up, Bosma ready back on the mound with the first pitch to the leadoff hitter, Jackson, and it's low, a fastball below the knees. Runners on first and second, neither with a big lead, and Miami's infield in at the corners. Shortstop shading towards the second base bag in the event of a pickoff play or maybe even a double play. Bosma long look in now, set and delivers. That one low too. Coming in with a fastball, a couple of straight pitches, but he's low on both of them. Probably trying to induce a ground ball. With the infield in like that, or at least at the corners, maybe they're worried about a bunt here?
We've seen it before, right?
We have seen it before.
Wouldn't surprise me.
And with only 1 out, if he's successful, Jackson is, he can put 2 runners in scoring position as the first strike is delivered from Bosma of this at-bat. Fastball on the outside corner, 2-1.
Kind of like what you had to say earlier on the game, Chris. Kent State, what do they have to lose, right?
Exactly.
From a bunt, from whatever.
Same thing for Miami. Both teams vying for Mid-American Conference positioning. As this one is roped into right field, that's going to get down for a base hit, fielded by the right fielder and get back in quickly. Throw goes all the way to the plate and holds Dobas at third base. So no harm done there, but it does load the bases on the Jackson clean line drive single into right field.
Jeff Duncan, the Kent State head coach, their third base coach, was waving Dobas around. And he kept waving him until the last possible second he told him to stop. And Dobas kind of stumbled around that third base bag there. So that was a good job by Miami to get that ball in quickly. But also Kent State wants to really put some pressure on Bosma here with 1 out in the inning.
The throw from Stone came in more like a throw to the cutoff man Morissette than a throw to the catcher Stoles. That kind of died halfway between first and second, but Morissette let it go through. I think it probably would have been a bang-bang play at the plate.
Yep.
You never know how that goes down, so not a bad decision by Kent State as they have the bases loaded. 2 runners in scoring position, obviously, as a result, and only 1 out. Wentz, the 2-hole hitter, will now step into the box. Righty against the lefty pitcher. He's 0 for 1 with a strikeout. Excuse me, he's actually 0 for 2. He struck out in his first plate appearance, and now in his second, back in the 3rd inning, he grounded into a double play. First pitch to him is waved at and missed. 81-mile-an-hour breaking ball there. Bosma elevated it. It wasn't a great spot, but
this might be a pinch hitter, Chris.
it actually is.
Yeah.
It's Elson, number 23, a right-hander. As that one is also waved at and missed. Another breaking ball elevated. This is Nick Elson, 6'2", 210-pound outfielder, a senior from Kenosha, Wisconsin. He swung and missed on both of the first 2 pitches, and he does it a 3rd time. Bosma gets his 2nd out of the inning with a breaking ball. They just went right after him with 3 straight breaking balls, and Elson came up empty on all 3 of them.
And a meeting at the mound here before they face Matthews. RedHawks sent an assistant coach out there.
Yeah, it will not be a pitching change. At least doesn't look like it. It's Matt Passor, the pitching coach out there. He might be buying time for a reliever, though. It's kind of an odd spot to take your guy out in. Bosma, 3 straight strikes. A dominant. Now they are going to motion toward the bullpen.
Oh.
Bosma's yet to give up the ball. 2 outs in the inning.
Kenton Egbert was up for just a little bit of time there. And he's coming out.
He's the guy we saw in the Sunday game in Miami's last series 2 weeks ago. And yeah, he is coming out, but Bosma's still yet to leave the mound. I don't know what's going on there.
There we go.
Now here we go. He'll place the ball into Egbert's glove, pat him on the rear. And they're off. So we're going to take a quick break as Egbert gets ready on the mound. You're listening to Red Hawk Radio, 2-0 Miami. Interesting. Back here on Red Hawk Radio. Chris Vinel next to Patrick Geshan. As we mentioned before the break, a new pitcher for the Red Hawks. Tyler Bosma's day is done, and it will be Kenton Egbert, the sophomore out of Tip City. First pitch from him is 92 miles an hour inside, though, to Matthews, the 3-hole hitter. Really good last time out for Egbert.
Yeah.
Came in relief 2 weeks ago from today. 4 innings pitched, 4 hits, 2 runs, only 1 earned, and struck out 6. Threw 71 pitches out of the pen as his second pitch today is a called strike on the inner third.
Good start for Bosma, too. Maybe didn't go as long as he wanted to, but certainly was efficient to not allow a run. He's responsible, though, for some runners on base this inning.
That's the big key, is at least while he was on the mound, he was able to work successfully out of trouble. This is a little nubber ground ball down the first base line. Morissette Fields takes it to the bag himself, and the side is retired. So a little scary there for Miami with the bases loaded. Kenton Egbert comes out of the bullpen and gets them out of the jam. We go to the bottom of the 5th. Miami coming up, leading 2-0 on Red Hawk Radio. Miami leading 2-0 here on Red Hawk Radio over the Kent State Golden Flashes in this Sunday series finale. It's going to be Nate Stone at the plate. He's 1 for 2 on the day and has driven in one of Miami's 2 runs. First pitch to him is fouled off towards the left side and out of play. It is a new pitcher for Kent State. It's the one we talked about last inning, Max Ripple, the junior out of Fort Myers, Florida. He's also an outfielder for this team, so a versatile guy with a good arm. He's thrown in the low 90s right now as his second pitch there is on the outside corner. Jack Kartsanas went 4 innings of 2-run baseball, now turns it over to Ripple. The 0-2 pitch to Stone is a breaking ball, the first from Ripple, outside the plate by a large margin.
Yeah, Max 30 2/3 this season, 37 hits. ERA is at 7.34 right now. 3-1 record though.
He comes into a close ball game here as this one is skied out towards shallow left field. Right into the sun, that's a tough play, and he makes it. Does the left fielder Carew. He went down to his knees, shielding all the way the sun with his glove.
That was amazing. The way he was just kind of holding his glove above his face to shade his face, and then last second just kind of bolts over to his left to just get it in the glove.
And there's not really a cloud in the sky right now.
There isn't. A few kind of like, I don't know the cloud type, I'm sorry, but they're just wispy in like left center field. Well out on the horizon.
There's a reason we're journalism and sport management majors. First pitch to Nick Clark is in there, called strike. The 0-1 from Ripple. Another fastball. He's just pumping it in there, straight gas at 93.
Yeah.
0-2 now. So he's doing a good job of really working ahead of hitters too, at least the first two batters he's faced. Gotten both of them into 0-2 counts. Here it comes. High and tight fastball. Clark holds up. We'll try a 1-2 count now.
Last time out for Ripple was an inning pitched at Central Michigan. Kent State actually got the win in that one, but he allowed 2 earned runs in that inning.
Swing and a miss. Clark strikes out for out number 2, and that's his third strikeout in 3 at-bats. So a day the freshman would probably like to forget, as Benji Broekman, the center fielder, comes up to bat now. He's 0 for 2 on the day. Broekman grounded out 2 infielders in both of his 2 at-bats. He comes up with 2 outs now and takes the first pitch fastball outside the zone. Ripple working quickly, too. We've seen a lot of that today. Cortsanas was a little more deliberate, but Bosma and now Ripple, as this one is fouled out of play towards the right side, working very quickly. Kenton Egbert, the reliever who came on to retire or to get the final out of last inning for Miami, kind of works quickly as well. The 1-1. Breaking ball, maybe the first we've seen from Ripple, and it's up in the zone but fouled back into the netting, by Broekman. 1-2 count now with 2 outs and nobody on. Ripple able to work from the full windup, and the infield pretty much at normal depth. Same with the outfield, as here comes the 1-2. This one is driven down the right field line, but out of play as well over the Kent State bullpen.
Probably shouldn't say this, but I just think it's funny that with the capacity limits, you have the gallery people outside the fence down the right field line. They bring lawn chairs and they sit behind the trees, like in front of them.
I love it.
Yeah.
Little Sunday baseball. 1-2. Benji Broekman swings and misses for strike 3 and out number 3. So a 1-2-3 inning by Max Ripple in his first inning of work. We go to the 6th. 2-0 Miami on Red Hawk Radio. Kenton Egbert back for what he hopes will be his first full inning of work. The righty for Miami. Big guy out there on the mound, 6'4", 6'5", and he's all arms. First guy he faces will be the cleanup hitter, Carew. Carew 0 for 2 on the day with 2 strikeouts. We've seen both cleanup hitters for both teams as the first pitch is a slow breaking ball, 74 miles an hour right down the middle. We've seen both cleanup hitters today without contact on the ball.
I know.
Nick Clark 0 for 3 with 3 strikeouts. Carew 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts, looking to avoid a third here as Egbert, high leg kick on the mound, now deals a 91-mile-an-hour fastball, a little bit too high.
It's kind of odd, isn't it?
His windup?
No, your cleanup hitters just have, like, no noise today.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Well, the one's a freshman, and here it's been a pretty good pitching day for the RedHawks as Golden Flashes have been held scoreless.
But the windup is also kind of weird. And that's the first thing I noticed when he throws his first warm-up pitch. Interesting.
He's herky-jerky, and it's a very high leg kick as the count is now 1-2 after a breaking ball in there.
It's old time.
It really is. Here's the 1-2, a grunting fastball, 92 miles an hour, but he's outside with it. No offering from Carew there, so it runs the count to 2-2. You know, I was telling Patrick in between innings that Jack Schmelzinger and I were kind of making fun of Kenton Egbert last time out because his hat kept falling off. It was almost every time he delivered a pitch, there was a fastball just blown right by Carew for out number 1. But it was just falling off all the time. Yeah. And I was like, dude, we got to get you a hat that fits. Can't be that hard. And it had to be annoying from Kenton Egbert's standpoint, but he was dealing pretty well that outing, and through his first 2 batters here, looks to be doing the same. 1 out here in the top of the 6th. Touchette, the batter, now a left-hander, and the first pitch to him is a fastball in the outer third at 91 miles an hour. Egbert once again coming right after hitters. Ready and the pitch. Another fastball right on the inside corner. Touchette didn't like that one very much. Did take a look back at the umpire, but he'll take a step out of the box and now back in for the 0-2 pitch. Egbert looking in for his sign. He's now ready. Flutters the glove a couple of times and kicks and deals. That one a high fastball for ball 2. Excuse me, that was ball 1.
I think there's a little operator error on the scoreboard over there.
The pitch fouled back into the netting behind home plate, a 91-mile-an-hour fastball. Touchette took a pretty good hack at that one.
Kenton, of course, Tippecanoe Red Devil, another local kid. About hour 15 minutes away.
You ever been up there?
Yeah, just been to the Burger King there, I think, driving by on 75.
That's what I'm talking about, is Egbert misses with a fastball at 89.
I covered a lot of Tippecanoe games the high school season, actually, but I've never been to their high school.
Gotcha. That's why I asked, 'cause you're kind of a connoisseur of local high school sports. You're all over the place, Patrick.
I like it, though.
I like it, too. I'm sure your listeners do as well, as Egbert misses again to run the count full, 3-2 to Touche. Another fastball that just ran out of the strike zone for Egbert. With 1 out, Egbert looking to avoid surrendering his first base runner. Middle infield playing on the edge of the grass. Corners at normal play depth. It doesn't matter as Egbert blows a 92-mile-an-hour fastball up in the zone right by Touchette. 4 out, number 2.
Just looking at some of the Kent State parents or fans that are here, they just kind of hang their head back when they watch that pitch go by. It's been a tough day offensively. I mean, Kent State has been able to threaten a few times. They've left a lot of runners on base, just can't bring anybody across today.
It's got to be frustrating, but the game still is in reach as this one is lined into the gap in left center. It's going to go all the way to the wall. Mickness has 2. He's going to hold right there as the center fielder Brokeman gets it back into the cutoff man in the infield. And Kent State, see, it's been a frustrating day, but they've now out-hit Miami 5-4, even though Miami leads on the scoreboard. So like you said, opportunities have been there. It's just a matter of taking advantage of them. And they have another one here with Dobus coming to the plate. Dobas has a hit and a walk in this game. The first pitch from Egbert is in there, called strike at 74 miles an hour. Breaking ball in the inner third. He's now working from the stretch. And the second baseman, Vogelsang, kind of shading a little bit towards the bag to keep Mickness in check. The 0-1. Fastball right up around his head. Scary pitch there, but Dobas able to duck out of the way. Good reflexes.
Yeah.
Runs the count to 1-1.
I mean, that's how I'd react too if I had that velocity of something coming out of my head.
I think so, 91 miles an hour. It's not something to snuff at. Egbert's 1-1. Up and in once again. 89 miles an hour on the gun that time, and Egbert keeps missing to that arm side. Maybe not finishing his pitch, at least when he turns to the fastball. 2-1 the count now with 2 outs and a runner on second base. After a look back at the runner, he delivers a breaking ball just a bit too high at 74. And I think pretty much every breaking ball we've seen from Egbert has been right at 74 miles per hour. He's consistent. But for the first time today, we've seen him work behind a batter. 3-1 the count now. Good hitters count for Dobas. This one is lined into left field. They're going to wave the runner around. The throw is bobbled in left field and will not go to the plate. So 2-1, Kent State pulls within a run of Miami on the base hit by Dobas, the second of the ball game. And Kenton Egbert has allowed his first run of the game.
I don't know if they would have gotten the runner anyway, but back as soon as he fielded that ball in left field, he did bobble it kind of between his legs, went behind him a little bit. And again, I still don't know if they would have gotten him, but certainly would have made the play a little bit more interesting.
It looked to be when he tried to transfer the ball from his glove to his hand. Ball just kind of, he couldn't get a grip on it and fell to the turf. But I think you're right. I don't know if they would have gotten him. It would have been a tough play, but regardless, it didn't happen, and now it's 2-1 Miami. Egbert drops a breaking ball in there on the first pitch to Kirby, the first baseman. He's without a hit in his 2 at-bats so far today, with a fly out to right field and a strikeout looking. Average lead over at first base as Egbert comes again with the breaking ball, this one in the dirt. No need to hold your breath if you're the RedHawks. Still 2 outs in the inning and a 1-run lead. Nobody in scoring position, but there is that runner on first base. 1-1 from Egbert. That one's in the dirt, a fastball that time at 89. Ever since the 2 strikeouts, he's been a little wild. He's just one of those guys who, when he's out there on the mound, it looks like he's giving max effort every single pitch. The 2-1 from Egbert. This is a breaking ball, grounded toward the left side, fielded by Zapp, and it was right on the line. They're going to call it a foul ball. So we'll try it again now at 2-2. If Zapp fields that ball about a half second earlier, that's probably a fair ball and potentially an out at first base, but he waited back on it just a little bit on the high chopper.
I mean, that much time, half second or less.
Fielded it right on the line in front of the third base bag. Kirby, the 8-hole hitter, with a 2-2 count right now. McNamara, the shortstop, on deck. Kenton Egbert on the mound. Here's the 2-2 with 2 outs. Fastball just missing on the inside corner, 89, and Kenton Egbert looking in, kind of asking where that one was. He's run the string out on him here, 3-2 with 2 outs. Presumably the runner at first base, Dobas, will be on the move here. He's not being held on by Michael Morissette, who now kind of backs to a normal first base position. The pitch from Egbert, grounded right back to the pitcher. Underhanded flip on to first base, and the side is retired. But the Golden Flashes do get their first run of the ball game. It's 2-1 as we head to the bottom of the 6th on Red Hawk Radio. Back here for the bottom of the 6th inning, Brian Zapp at the plate, and Max Ripple still on the mound for Kent State. Now working with a 2-1 deficit instead of a 2-0 deficit like last inning. The third pitch to Zapp is in there for a called strike. It's 1-2 now. Zapp on the day, 1 for 2 with an RBI. It was that long home run he hit to left center field in his last time up. Missing the zone outside there is Ripple. That'll even the count at 2-2. This one is fouled back behind home plate and out of play. So we'll do it again at 2-2.
Wind shifting a little bit more out towards center field versus right, where it was earlier in the game.
This one in the dirt to move the count to a full count, 3-2. Yeah, and that has potential to change the way the ball flies and the way this game is played a little bit, because we've seen a bunch of hits in this game kind of go down the right field line and tail out of play. Maybe a few more will hang in there as Zapp waves and misses at that one. Fastball at 90 miles an hour from Ripple strikes him out. Now it's going to be Billy Kopicki, the shortstop, who's 0 for 1 on the day. He did reach base, he reached base back in his first at-bat, which was a hit by pitch, as first pitch to him in this at-bat is a fastball outside the zone. Second pitch from Ripple is fouled back and out of play over the netting behind home plate. Kopicki in his last at-bat, grounded out to the shortstop. This one is grounded towards his third base coach down the the third base line, but foul. Ripple with the 1-2, swing and a miss again. That one a breaking ball in the dirt, and Kopecky went right over the top of it for out number 2. It's a big out for Ripple, especially in a situation like this. 2-1 now, so it's not just eating innings. You're trying to keep your team in the ball game, and obviously retiring the first 2 batters of the inning. Good way to do that. One more to get. It's going to be Nate Stoles as next try. The catcher for Miami, and the first pitch to him is taken for a ball low.
It was a good pitch to get Kopecky too. Get him to chase on a count where he was pitching a pitcher's count.
That's exactly what working ahead in the count does for you, as a fastball is fouled toward the right side and out of play. 1-1 the count to Stoles. He's 0 for 2 on the afternoon. And I keep saying 0 for. Miami has been out hit in this game. Only 4 hits, but they've been of the right variety, as this one is skied towards left center field. Both outfielders converging. It's going to be the center fielder who takes care of it for out number 3, and another quick inning by Max Ripple. Good job there. We head to the top of the 7th, 2-1 on Red Hawk Radio. New pitcher for the RedHawks finishes his warm-up tosses. It's going to be the senior Michael Spinozzi out of South Lake, Texas. And we haven't seen him in 2 weeks. Exactly 2 weeks from today, he pitched 2 1/3 against Western Michigan. Did give up a run, but it was unearned. It was kind of a laboring effort for him. 43 pitches. He was effectively wild. 2 strikeouts and 2 walks. And he kind of provides a different look for the RedHawks after 2 big, long-armed pitchers for the start of the afternoon. Tyler Bosma at about 6'3", Kent Negbert about 6'5", Spinozzi a short 6'1", right?
Yeah, short.
Short.
He did lead the team last year with a 1.17 ERA. If that's worth anything, when we know how messed up 2020 spring sports were, but
right.
Was doing well last year.
Still an earned run average around 2.3 this year. As his first 2 pitches, he split them, 1 ball and 1 strike. Here's the third. That's way inside to McNamara. The 9-hole hitter for the Golden Flashes. Right-handed pitcher against right-handed batter. This one is out towards right field, curling towards the line. Stone giving chase. It's going to get out of play. And now bounce back into the field of play, but it's foul regardless. Count now 2-2.
That was kind of scary. I don't know if the wind had any factor in that, but it was close. Dropped just shy of the wall, probably a foot over the line.
Spinozzi not really an overpowering guy with his stuff. A fastball in the mid to high 80s. But he's got good breaking ball, and he's typically got pretty good command. Like I said, kind of wild in his last appearance, but we'll see what he brings today. Here's the 2-2 that he's going to bring. That one a fastball, another line drive, fly ball out towards right field, but that one is well out of play. McNamara got a good hack at that one, but unable to keep it in the field of play. McNamara, even out of the 9 spot, does have 3 home runs on the year. 20 RBIs. Batting leadoff here in the top of the 7th inning. The full windup and the pitch to him. He takes a check swing. They're going to appeal down to first base, who gives McNamara the green light. He did not go. So a full count now to open the inning and Spinozzi's first batter. We only saw 27 pitches out of Kenton Egbert, as here's the 3-2. That one is down and away, and he walked him. So McNamara will take first base. 27 pitches for Egbert, 15 strikes. So he was a little all over the place, especially after retiring his first 2 batters of last inning. Now Spinozzi has thrown 7 pitches just in his first at-bat, and only 3 of them were strikes. Lineup turns over to Jackson, the leadoff hitter. He's reached base all 3 times up today with 2 hits and a hit by pitch. The first pitch to him, he lays down a bunt, or attempts to. Pulls back but takes a strike anyway, 92 miles an hour, as Spinozzi had a little bit extra on that one. The third baseman, Zapp, is playing about as far in as you'll see a third baseman play at the moment. About 3 steps onto the infield grass and about 6 steps in front of the third base bag. Jackson yet to get back in the box. Now will step back in. Average lead at first base for McNamara. He's being held on by Morissette, so Morissette not coming in for the bunt attempt. It's going to be another bunt attempt for Jackson. Right back to the pitcher. Spinozzi will field, throw on to first base. It's a wild throw, but Morissette able to jump for the throw and get his foot down on the bag before Jackson got there. So kind of a wild play. Yeah. Almost not an out for Miami, but they get it anyway. It's the first of the inning.
Morissette was positioned on the bag in the normal spot a first baseman would be, but the throw came high and left. Good job, though, to stretch out that right arm across his body, move across the base, and make that play. Nice athletic move.
It does put a runner in scoring position on second base. And it looks like we're going to have a pinch hitter here. It's going to be the backup catcher, Sam Thompson, a junior out of Bremen, Georgia. His first at bat of the day. The first pitch he sees is a fastball at 88 miles an hour off the plate away. Last time up we saw Nick Elson in this 2-hole. He was a pinch hitter for Wentz, who started the game in the 2-hole for the Golden Flashes, as Thompson takes ball 2. Now it's Sam Thompson.
Just for the record, Jacob Webb, righty, is up in the Miami bullpen. For Kent State, Peyton Dietz is up. He is a lefty redshirt junior.
Down and away, almost in the dirt, as Stoll saves that one. 83 miles an hour on the radar gun there, and it runs the count 2-3-0. So right off the bench, Thompson hasn't been able to take the bat off his shoulder as he's looked at 3 straight pitches outside the strike zone. Spinozzi Fastball on the outside corner. That's strike one. Thompson looked to be taking all the way. Now a pretty good hitter's count of 3-1. Matthews waiting on deck. The three-hole hitter for Kent State. 1 for 3 on the day. Spinozzi's got to make it through Sam Thompson, the pinch hitter first. The 3-1 after he checks the runner at second. Swung on and missed. 85 miles an hour, and it looked to be pretty much right down the middle there. Thompson just missed it. I'm going to jinx it, but the wind has pretty much died down.
Yeah. There it goes.
Now I did jinx it.
Good job.
Yep. Broadcaster curse is real. The 3-2 right back to Spinozzi. He's going to throw to second, and the runner takes third. Both runners are safe as the throw went to second base, and the runner at second, that's McNamara, just took off for third when the throw went to second. Billy Kopicki, the shortstop, came in and cut the throw off, then threw to first, and it was late to Morissette, not able to beat Thompson. That's not exactly how you draw it up.
No.
Typically, if you're Spinozzi there, you just look at the runner and hold him long enough to make the throw to first without him moving on. There, it looked like he kind of panicked, or it looked like he had thought he had an opportunity to pick McNamara off second there. Doesn't work out. So now there are runners on the corners with 1 out. Spinozzi now facing the three-hole hitter Matthews, who flies one deep center field. Benji Brokeman going back. It's going to stay in the ballpark. Fielded on the warning track and caught. Both runners will advance, so 1 run scores, and we're knotted up at 2 here in the bottom of the seventh, or in the top of the 7th inning. Excuse me.
Very smart at bat, and Kent State taking advantage of the unforced error. Just a beautifully placed sac fly, deep center field. Plenty of time to allow the run to come in, and we're tied at 2.
If he didn't hit that to the deepest part of the ballpark, I mean, he almost got that one, did Thompson,
I know.
Fresh off the bench. He hits that to left or right field, and we're talking about a 4-2 ball game right now. Instead, it stays in the ballpark. Plate's 1, and there's still a runner on second base with 2 outs. 1-0 count now from Spinozzi. A little bit of trouble in his first inning of work here. He's delivered 16 pitches, 9 of which have been strikes. That one, another strike in there, 82 miles an hour. There's not much differentiation between, at least in speeds, between Spinozzi's fastball and his breaking stuff.
Right.
His breaking stuff sits right around 82, 83 miles an hour, and the fastball comes in there at about 88. The 1-1 is waved at and missed. 82 miles an hour there on the breaking ball, down and away. The 1-2 from Michael Spinozzi. Fastball fouled sharply down the third base line.
That, if it was 3 feet right, might be a Kent State lead right now.
I think you're right. That definitely would have gone all the way to the wall with as sharply as that was hit. The 1-2 to Carew again. Fastball, this one is towards left field. Now going back after initially pausing, is back. He goes all the way to the wall, and it's off the wall. This will bring the run around, and it's a double for Carew. And Kent State all of a sudden has gone from trailing 2-1 to leading 3-2 here in the top of the 7th inning. They're still going 2 here with 2 outs and a runner in scoring position. And they're fired up down there.
And at one point, we're down 2-0 in this game. I think Back just lost that in the sun. He had a lot of trouble trying to track that ball down. The sunglasses on, and we've seen in left field some sun trouble today on both sides, and just trying to trail back on that one. Could not really get his eye on it as it went off the wall.
The man who hit that, Carew, we saw him go down to his knees to catch a ball earlier in this game, kind of dealing with the sun all the way. First pitch to Touchette is a breaking ball low. So yeah, his son definitely playing a factor there. And to be honest, I don't know that he catches that ball even if he gets a good read on it off the bat. Ball goes all the way off the wall after the charge was put into it by Carew. The 1-0 also inside, this time a fastball at 90 miles an hour. And Spinozzi once again just kind of working himself into a hitter's count. Not working ahead on hitters. 2-0 now. Not the outing he would have pictured as he surrendered 2 runs in this inning. Now the ball on the ground to the second baseman, Will Vogelsang, and the side is retired. But the damage is done. Kent State takes a 3-2 lead into the bottom of the 7th on Red Hawk Radio. Back here for the bottom of the 7th inning as Miami trailing for the first time in this game, 3-2. 2 Kent State runs came across in the top of the 7th on Michael Spinozzi out of the RedHawks bullpen, and now we've got a new pitcher out of the Kent State bullpen.
Peyton Dietz, number 27, 6'1", 180, redshirt junior out of Tiffin, Ohio.
First batter he faces is Michael Morissette, who takes a hearty cut at that one and came up empty. 88-mile-an-hour fastball that time. It's the first strike of the at-bat after the first 2 pitches missed the zone away. The 2-1 working quickly is Dietz. That one in there, another strike, 93. Pumped it all the way up into the low 90s for strike 2.
5.52 ERA this season for Dietz.
Dietz barely breathing in between pitches as he delivers another one.
I was going to say.
Full count now after the fastball misses outside.
Ready to go.
Morissette even putting his hand up as he gets into the box, asks for a little extra time, and he swings and misses on the full count pitch. Another fastball just blown right by Morissette, and there's 1 out in the inning.
Dietz has a 1-1 record this season. Last appearance on April 16th at Central Michigan. Pitched an inning in a Kent State loss. Allowed 1 hit, 3 runs that were earned. 3 walks and a strikeout, so it was a little shaky that time.
He's facing Dalton back for the first time now with 1 out, and the first pitch to back is in there for a called strike. Kent State, I tell you what, they've got some bullpen arms who can just straight bring it.
Yeah.
He's working in the low to mid 90s here as a breaking ball outside at 81 misses. 1-1 the count now. Swing and a miss from back. Another breaking ball, probably sitting fastball after seeing a couple while he was standing on the on-deck circle. To Morissette. Now he's gone back-to-back breaking balls to Dalton back as Peyton Dietz. Dietz now comes with the fastball and now strikes back out. Another one just right by a Red Hawk, 89 miles an hour, and they're quickly 2 down. He's not wasting any time
at all,
any effort, any momentum. And it's Will Vogelsang to try to calm things down for the Red Hawks lineup. If there was ever a guy who, you wanted to break up a pitcher's rhythm a little bit, it would be this guy. Vogelsang 0 for 2 on the day, but has been on base and came around to score the first of the Red Hawks' 2 runs. He offers at the first pitch and misses on a breaking ball off the outside corner. Strike 1 though because of the swing and miss. Dietz ready with the 0-1. Another pitch almost in the same spot and the same result. Swing and a miss. Vogelsang comes up empty and he now steps out of the box and looks down towards his third base coach.
Dietz kind of a high strikeout pitcher, 18 strikeouts in 14 2/3.
Here's the 0-2. Swing and a miss. 91 miles an hour, 3 fastballs by 3 Red Hawk batters with 2 strikes, and Dietz has just struck out the side. What an impressive inning out of the bullpen for the Kent State left-hander. 8th inning coming up. Patrick Geshan coming back on Red Hawk Radio.
Well, after a shutdown bottom of the 7th inning for Kent State on the mound, we have a new pitcher for Miami, and Jacob Webb, and the righty will take over here in the top half of the 8th for the RedHawks.
The RedHawks bringing the big boy out here for the top of the 8th inning. 6'5", 250 pounds is Jacob Webb, a senior out of Fairborn, Ohio. Originally a junior college transfer out of Sinclair Community College. Now in his 2nd season with the RedHawks, and it's a pretty dang good one. His earned run average currently sitting at 1.96. And his last outing came on Friday. It wasn't one of his best. He pitched 2 innings, 3 hit baseball, did give up a run, but struck out 2. So, okay, and now we'll see what he does in his 2nd appearance of this Kent State series.
So he is to the hill here as we get ready for the top half of the 8th inning. Patrick Geshan, Chris Vinel with you here on what has been a Kent State come-from-behind lead at this point at 3-2 Golden Flashes. First pitch is a strike to the Kent State hitter, Justin Minkins.
Webb's got what they call effortless gas. His first pitch at 94, and it doesn't even really look like he's exerting that much effort when he goes into his windup.
0-1 right down Broadway for strike 294 in the gun to Minkins. Strikeout today, double for Minkins. Fielder's choice, or excuse me, a flyout. I couldn't read my own writing there.
That happens to the best of us.
0-2 on the way. High and away, grunting fastball at 96 from Webb.
96 is the fastest pitch we've seen in this game. I'm sure that's a good thing if you're Kent State after having to deal with the 100-mile-an-hour cheese from Sam Bachman yesterday, even though they did get the win. It's not necessarily fun to face a guy who's throwing triple digits. Webb getting close, though.
This one chop foul by McNiss out of play third base side. Just trying to foul that one away, and it stays at 1-2. Got Dobas on deck. He's the one that kind of got the Kent State rally started last inning with the RBI single in their 2-run top half of the 7th. 1-2. Swing and a miss. Fastball down and in at 95. Got McNiss to chase. One away in the 8th.
He didn't throw a single breaking ball in that at bat. It was all fastballs all the time, and instead of what we saw with Kent State and Peyton Dietz, Webb kind of deliberate on the mound. Takes his time and winds up and deals gas.
He's a big boy. One out in the 8th. First pitch is an off-speed outside at 81 to Dobas.
It's not a bad pitch. I like the idea of starting him out with a breaking ball there, especially down and away. You're not really going to get hurt in that area.
Kevin has reached base multiple times today. A couple of singles, a walk, as it's 2-0 the count after a pitch down and away. Of course, Kent State is out hitting Miami 7-4 this afternoon. 2-0. It was a little low, framed nicely that time by Stoles, but another off speed that just missed at 80. 3-0 to Dobas. Webb in the windup, right down Broadway for strike 1, 3-1, 94 that time. RedHawk defensively look pretty standard here. You got the middle infielders playing just into the shallow grass or turf. 3-1 pitch. Down and away. And that's ball 4. Dobas is aboard with a walk. Second time he's been walked today. One out in the top half of the 8th. You got Kirby to the plate for Kent State. Steps into the right-handed batter's box here. Justin today still looking for that first hit. He struck out once in 3 at-bats. Fly out as well today. First delivery coming his way. Shows bunt, pulls it back. Breaking ball at 81 is outside, 1-0.
Dobas started to take off towards second base, and about 2 steps in, thought better of it after Kirby missed on the bunt.
Wind is more out to right field now. It is light. 1-0 pitch. Webb taking his time. Outside corner, 93 on the gun. It's 1-1. You have 2 very contrasting pitchers in the way they operate for both teams. You got Webb, who's out there, takes his time, enjoys the day, and then Dietz on the other end, he's got somewhere to be tonight.
I think you're right. Webb allowing us to take a little bit of a breath.
Runner goes, swing and a miss, throw down to second in time, and plenty of time to get Dobas. There's a good second there where the throw was in the hand of the shortstop, or the second baseman rather, in Vogelsang. And Dobas had nothing to do there except just run right into the tag, and there's 2 outs. The RedHawks catch him stealing.
Webb not the longest guy to the plate when he's in the stretch, but not a good jump there by Dobas. Webb pretty much about to throw the ball as Dobas took off. Now he can work from the full windup with 2 strikes.
1-2 gets him inside on the bat. I believe that's a foul ball. It was near the hands that time of Kirby, and count stays at 1-2 as the ball ricocheted into the Kent State dugout. Everybody's fine.
Just an unlucky bounce there, an unlucky pitch by Kirby. Inadvertent contact on the check swing up around his chin area.
1-2 coming, bases are empty. Webb trying to end the inning here with 2 outs. Grunting fastball fouled into the parking lot, first base side to our right. And we'll do it again. Of course, Webb is the 4th man to take over the pitching duties for Miami this afternoon. 1-2. This is going to be a foul ball out of play in the outfield right side. Just past the Kent State bullpen. After Kirby kind of checked swing for that one there and got a hold of it out of play. So he'll step in, continue to battle Webb. Another 1-2. Swing and a miss. Breaking ball outside at 80. Got him to swing at that one, reaching across the plate. And that's going to end the festivities here in the top half of the 8th inning as Webb escapes that with no damage. 3-2, the Kent State lead. To the bottom half of the 8th we go. This is Miami Baseball on Red Hawk Radio. Nate Stone is the Miami hitter to get things going in the bottom half of the 8th. Patrick Geshan and Chris Vinel are with you from McKie Field. Sun is really warming things up here as we go into the later afternoon hours. Feels good.
Yeah, we like that a lot.
3-2 RedHawks trail. Stone jumps on the first one. Fair ball to first. Nice play to get in front of it by Kirby from behind first base. Step on the bag before Stone could get down the line. 1 pitch, 1 out in the 8th.
Just when you thought Dietz couldn't get any faster, instead of striking out guys and working quickly, he just goes and says, well, I'll get you out on the first pitch.
Might be a 3-pitch inning at this rate. We got a pinch hitter coming up for the RedHawks.
Looks like Cole Andrews.
Yep. He steps into the DH role as Nick Clark will be replaced by Andrews, the cleanup spot today.
Hayden might be making multiple changes. He's having a decently long conversation with the umpire that now breaks up.
So Andrews is up with a 1 out in the bottom half of the 8th. The bases are empty.
Not an ideal day for the freshman Nick Clark. 3 at-bats, 3 strikeouts, but you've got a pretty dangerous hitter now in Cole Andrews at the plate.
First one's outside at 81. You have, of course, Dietz on the mound, too. This pitch 1 1/3 with 15 pitches. 1-1 is swung on and tipped into the mitt. 1-1. Another deal from Dietz. Swing and a miss. Outside off speed at 80, and reaching for that one was Andrews. Down 1-2. Delivery. Skied. Shallow right. First baseman Kirby is back. We got a triangle of players coming in. The right fielder. Touche dropped it. On his way to second. Andrews, he'll be tagged down on the throw.
That was not a good decision by Cole Andrews. Once again, the sun coming into play and the ball is dropped, and Andrews decides to go. It actually was bobbled after Andrews decided to go to second base, so if the right fielder didn't bobble the baseball, he would have been out by about 10 steps. Instead, he was out by 3, and still not a great decision for the RedHawks there. Kills a base runner, and now they have 2 outs.
So the pinch hitter retired. Here's Brokemon with 2 down in the 8th. One-0 pitch. High and away, and oh, it's in there. 1-1. We have this like bar that's in front of us. It just messes with me. So it was 1-1. It's the support beam you can like stand and put your hands on in the top row. 1-1 is outside. 2-1. So again, Andrews out last at bat, trying to get Greeny going to second on a drop fly ball. Up and away to Brokemont, 3-1. 2 outs, nobody on in the bottom half of the 8th. RedHawks trail 3-2. This is low and away. Off speed at 88. And a walk. Brokemont is aboard.
So the RedHawks get their base runner back, and it is a guy with some speed now. And it looks like it will be Brian Zapp up again. He's a guy we already saw drive the ball out of the ballpark.
Yep.
So good power speed combo here for the RedHawks. See if they can tie this bad boy up.
So it is Zapp who digs in to the left-handed batter's box. First delivered to him outside corner at 88 for strike 1.
It's tough to get comfortable with Dietz on the mound working so quickly. You're kind of at his mercy unless you're actively trying to call times and break up his momentum, which the RedHawks have not done.
Swing and a miss. Zapp that time didn't really go fully around. I mean, he did, but kind of stopped the swing early. 0-2. He is Zapp, the hitter that got the solo home run for Miami back in the 4th. Made it at that point a 2-0 game. This one gets away for the catcher on the pitch outside. Brokemont is second. He'll round the bag without a throw, as chasing back to grab that one was Mickness.
So now I think if you're Zapp, your approach changes. It's not try to drive the ball anywhere. It's not try to put one in the gaps or drive it out of the ballpark. It's make solid contact and maybe get one into the outfield, because a hit into the outfield will probably score Brokemont from second base. You got to protect here with 2 strikes to get it done, though.
1-2. Swing and a miss. Maybe a tip into the mitt that time. Side retired to the bottom half of the 8th as Dietz shuts down the RedHawks again. They strand 1 at second in Brokemont. Golden Flashes 3, RedHawks 2 to the 9th we go in Oxford. This is Miami Baseball on Red Hawk Radio. Michael McNamara starts us off in the top half of the 9th inning for Kent State. Golden Flashes 3, RedHawks 2. Patrick Geshan, Chris Vinel are with you on Red Hawk Radio. Jacob Webb is back out on the mound for the RedHawks. Continues his relief appearance. As McNamara is up in the 9 hole, you have the 1 and 2 spots 2 up as well this inning for Kent State. First pitch, a fastball right down the middle for strike 1. McNamara is grounded out. He's walked today as well. Has scored 1 run for Kent State. 0-1, a chopper off the plate, too short. Gopicki fields it off the hop, the throw is away, and safe. At first is McNamara. Set Morris set, moving too far to his left. Had to get off the bag to catch the throw. And Gopicki with trouble on that one. Puts a man on with nobody out in the 9th.
It hasn't necessarily translated to errors or that many mistakes, but the RedHawks are giving Michael Morissette a workout over there at first base. We've seen 3 or 4 of those throws that have drawn him off the bag and either forced him to retreat back to it after catching it or slapping a tag on the runner. And he's done so successfully a couple of times. Not that time, as the throw was too far up the first base line and unable to get McNamara.
Jackson is up here for Kent State. Gets a bunt down right up the first base side. Confusion by the RedHawks. Everybody's safe. Webb came in, and then he kind of laid off as the catcher Stoles was driving toward the ball. Both of them stopped going after it. Miscommunication, and it resulted in no throw to first base. Jackson reaches on the single that time, I guess, or is it an error? I don't think you can really call that an error, can you?
I don't think it's an error. I think they're just going to call it a no-man's land bunt single, and that's really what it was. I mean, it was a well-placed bunt, and with Webb falling off the mound after his pitch towards the first base side, I think Stoles thought, hey, he's going to take care of this. It looked like Webb never had any intention of going for the ball. He was going towards home to cover for Stoles. Ends up no one getting the ball.
So it puts McNamara at second, Jackson at first. RedHawks with a meeting on the mound here.
This is one of those talks where you're not going out and talking strategy or you're not going out and talking mechanics. It's more of a, hey, guys, come on. Come on, wake up a little bit. Let's play smart baseball. We're still very much in this game. We just got to lock in and can't let it get away from us. 2 runners on, nobody out, but still only trailing by 1 are the RedHawks. And with as explosive as we've seen really both offenses throughout the course of the season, this game is far from over.
It really is, but Kent State could open it up here. 2 men on, nobody out in the 9th. Thompson is up next for the Golden Flashes.
His second at bat. We've seen them kind of shuffle through guys the designated hitter spot.
Yep.
He got on base his first time up and ended up scoring a run.
And kind of a fielder's choice type play. Thompson, the righty, digs in here. He shows bunt and pops it up off of the netting behind the plate.
The left side of the RedHawks infield read that all the way. As soon as Webb went into his windup, and I think even before Thompson squared, Gopicki, the shortstop, took off towards third base, and Brian Zapp charged towards home.
1-1 is the count as Jeff Duncan, the head coach at Kent State, third base coach as well, comes down and talks to Thompson before he steps in. Looking over at the Red Hawk bullpen, there's nobody up. Kent State does have a pitcher up. I'm unable to see the number from where we are. It might be number 3.
If I'm the RedHawks, I stick with Webb right here. He's a guy who's been in this situation, the late inning spot, all year long, and has pitched really well. Now he's going to turn and fire and try to pick off the guy at second base, but no cigar.
That was McNamara. Pitcher up for Kent State is Jack Zimmerman. He is a lefty senior out of Akron.
Another guy who plays outfield for Kent State, too. We've seen a couple of those guys today. I love that. I love nothing more than versatility in baseball players. I'm serious.
Especially at this level, right? When you're so specialized kind of these days.
Absolutely. Absolutely. That's why I love Will Vogelsang. We've seen him play all over the infield. I think he's gone out to center field before. And
0-1 is outside, and another shown bunt attempt by Thompson. Pulled it back, 1-1.
think I get that. One of my favorite players growing up when I was really little, we're talking, 8 years old, was Jerry Hairston Jr. for the Reds, who played, shortstop, second, third, left field, center field, all over the diamond.
Yeah. 1-1, right back to the pitcher on a bunt. Webb indecisive, goes to first for the sure out. He looked at every single base, kind of turned his body toward each base too, until finally falling on first base, decided to get Thompson. So the sac play puts runners on second and third. There's 1 out in the top of the 9th. Here's Matthews.
Good play there by Thompson. You advance both the runners, put them both in scoring position with only 1 out. And he did force Webb to think, as we saw on the first bunt attempt of the inning. Webb didn't do a great job of fielding that one. That time he was okay, fired on to first for the out.
Pitch is outside of the first offering. It's 1-0. Matthews in the 3 spot today. A single. He's grounded out. Had a sac fly. That sac fly that tied the game at 2. That was the first run they got. This is high and away. Two-0 with 1 out again in the top of the 9th inning. You got McNamara on third, Jackson on second. 2-0. Outside and away, 3-0. 79 on the breaking ball.
A hard hit ground ball probably gets through this infield right now with all the infielders in.
They're going to intentionally walk Matthews on the 3-0 count and load the bases with 1 out in the top of the 9th. And this is Carew, the next hitter, who did have an RBI double earlier on in the game and has struck out twice as well.
That's your cleanup hitter.
Carew.
Now they're going to retreat. The infield corners will stay in, but the middle infielders will retreat back to double play depth. And that's kind of the thinking here. Hey, let's put a guy on first base and give ourselves a shot for a double play really at all bases. So it's a force out anywhere you look.
Yeah. Pitch is outside. It's 1-0. So how does Webb handle this jam? He's going to take his time, I know that. First offering. This is high fly ball left field. They're in center. Actually, Brokemon battling the sun, makes the catch. Runner's tag, throw to the shortstop. And that's where it will be cut off there by Kopicki. Scoring the run on the sac fly is McNamara. Kent State 4, Miami 2. So the lead now to 2 runs for the Golden Flashes. There's a good sac fly there by Carew. Well-placed fly ball. Brokemont able to make the catch. Again, battling the sun at his glove above his face until the last possible moment. Here's the Golden Flashes, some insurance here. 2 outs in the inning. They're on the corners. New hitter is Touche. And he'll smack this one into right center field down for a base hit. You have 1 run in. Runner also moving to third base. That is Matthews. It is an RBI single for Touche. 5-2 Kent State.
That's the hardest hit ball I think we've seen today. And if you heard the sound off the bat, you knew that right from just the sound of it. He got a first pitch fastball on it. That's what Touche looked to be sitting on. And he knew exactly what to do with it.
So this has been a 2-run 9th inning for the Golden Flashes. They remain on the corners with 2 outs.
They've scored 5 unanswered since Miami had their 2 runs in the 3rd and 4th inning.
Down and in, gets away from Stoles. Runner moves up to second, but more importantly, you still have Matthews staying at third. He thought about it, but ball wasn't far enough away. Good job by Stoles to kind of stay in front of that one enough. Knocked it to the right side of home plate as Webb came in for support. 1-0 is the count here to Mickness. Pitch is off the plate, fouled near the Kent State dugout, 1-1. So they're on second and third now. You have Matthews at third, Touchette at second. Jackson was the runner that scored in the last RBI single by Touchette. 1-1, just missing low at 85, 2-1. Also in there that Stoll's tried to frame. McKie, the lefty, steps in looking for another offering. 2-1 as Webb gets the sign in the windup. Chopped foul out of play third base side, 2-2.
I like the faith in his breaking ball there to go to it 2-1.
Yep.
Pretty big pitch with 2 outs and throw it over the plate. Just kind of challenge him with it. Shows confidence in it. And, you know, there hasn't been a whole lot to be confident about in this inning for Jacob Webb, but it still remains.
Has enough experience to know how to maybe handle these types of situations. Time is called.
Other than Touchette's single back up the middle, it's not like he's been hit extremely hard. You know, a couple of bunts,
right.
Some ground balls. Kent State just kind of manufacturing runs.
Stealing home, or at least attempting to, and sliding it safely for Kent State is Matthews. He ran as soon as Webb was in the windup. Matthews slid head first, got the left hand on the plate before any tag came in there from Stolz. 6-2. Matthews came out of the middle of nowhere, got a really good jump, pretty good hop, great leadoff, and slid right through as Danny Hayden comes out for an explanation. And I think Matthews just clean steal the whole plate. Runner moves up to third and Touchette. Full count here. And a pitch inside and low to McKie. He walks.
I love what Touchette just did. So he, as soon as Webb started his windup, and Webb, as a right-handed pitcher, can see that third base side out of the corner of his eye. Touchette took off, like broke for home plate like he was going to steal two. And then right as Webb was about to deliver the ball, he stopped and retreated back towards the bag. Just kind of threw Webb off a little bit because you go, oh, crap, it's happening again. Oh, it's happening again. Start thinking about the runner rather than the batter, and that's never a good thing, especially when you're in the middle of your windup.
Kind of doing it again over there at third. That sends Webb back to the rubber after he was about to get in the windup.
And he's making sure, too, to run heavy-footed, so he's making noise with his feet, really stomping.
Really messing with him. Pitch is in there for a strike, kind of off speed to Dobis, the new hitter at 79, 0-1. So McKie is at first. Touchette again over there at third base. 2 down in the Kent State top half of the 9th inning. And they've scored 3 runs this inning.
We heard Miami get up and cheer it from their dugout a couple of times, but Kent State's been largely quiet. They've really picked up the energy, and they're having a great time in there right now.
Swing and a miss on Dobis. Breaking ball that started on the middle half of the plate and then went to the outside that he chased on at 79.
This makes Dietz' job, or whichever reliever comes in for the bottom of the 9th, much easier with a 6-2 lead instead of a 3-2 lead.
McKie is running to second as Webb stares down at his glove standing on the rubber and reaches without a throw. I think Kent State is really in Jacob Webb's head right now.
I was just about to say the word that comes to mind is rattled. I mean, he's all over the place, and I think it's more of an unsure of himself type of thing. He just kind of questioning everything he does.
0-2, swing and a miss. That ends the disastrous top half of the 9th for Miami and Jacob Webb. 6-2, Golden Flashes lead it. They score 3 runs to grab some insurance. And they lead it by 4 as the RedHawks bat their last chance at the bottom half of the 9th inning coming up. You're listening to Miami Baseball on Red Hawk Radio. Patrick Geshan, Chris Vinel back with you here. Bottom half of the ninth in Oxford, about to start. 6-2 the Kent State lead. They extended it a lot in the top half of the ninth inning. New pitcher for the Golden Flashes is Jack Zimmerman, a senior out of Akron.
We saw him on Friday, and he was really, really good. 3 innings, 1 hit, no earned runs allowed. He got 9 total outs and struck out 5. So he was dealing, and now he's only got to get 3 outs here to give Kent State the win on Sunday and the win in the series.
Lefty will take over the duties here for Kent State. Parker Massman is going to make his first appearance in the game for Miami to lead things off here in the ninth, replacing Kopicki, who is the shortstop and was in the 7th spot today.
He fouled that right off his ankle and is now down on his hands and knees. Not feeling good. Maybe it might have been off his knee, but it was off that left leg, that front leg. And he's not feeling okay. Trainer is out. Danny Hayden comes over.
Not a good entry to this game for Massman.
Massman, a senior, kind of an interesting case. He really stormed into his college career as a freshman, took over as the everyday center fielder from a guy who was already pretty entrenched in that position, Dallas Hall. Kicked him over to right field, and after that great freshman season, he hasn't been able to kind of recapture that same magic. Now working off the bench this year. You hate to see when a guy gets an opportunity in any game, and especially when he doesn't get a whole lot of them and gets hurt like that. He's now back up.
Which is good, just trying to shake that off after the training staff attended to him.
Looks like he wants to stay in this ballgame, and it looks like he will stay in this ballgame.
They're going to let him. So Massman will battle back here, just kind of trying to find his balance, get some comfort in his feet and legs as he will step back in the box. 0-1 is the count with Zimmerman dealing. Outside corner at 88, 0-2. Next one, fly ball, right field, sends a right fielder moving in. This is going to be a fair ball, drop right on the line as Touchette made his way. Massman is racing, rounding second, going to third. It's a stand-up triple as Touchette continued to bobble the ball out there and right. I think it went off the fence.
He couldn't get a hold of it toward that right field fence, and it just kind of kept going along the wall. And Parker Massman obviously not showing too much of that injury as he was speeding around first, then sped right around second when Touchette still couldn't come up with the ball, and he finds himself a triple here to lead off the bottom of the ninth. he just really, I mean, that was kind of a lucky hit to begin with. It was an up and in fastball that he just kind of fought off. A very defensive swing, bloops it toward the right field line, just fair. And he's into third base.
And the way Massman was running, too, you wouldn't even think he felt a pitch off his leg.
No. And he's got some wheels down there. Ball hit in the outfield will probably score him.
Stoles is up. First pitch is high, 1-0. Nate today, a lot of flyouts. He's flown out 3 times. And we'll send this one back behind the plate out of play as well. One. It is outside, 2-1. So again, Massman still at third base, nobody out. This is a foul ball out of play, right side in the parking lot. As Stoles takes a deep sigh in the box, will get himself set up here for the 2-2. Zimmerman, the lefty, waits for the sign. Delivery. Grounded foul on the ground, and it is first base side off the Kent State dugout.
Defensive half swing there with 2 strikes, just kind of putting the ball out of play and living to see another pitch if you're Stoles.
That's mentality at this point. Down by 4 in the bottom half of the ninth. Two. It's kind of a floating pitch there. Shallow pop-up. It's in the infield and caught by the third baseman. Jackson came toward the mound to gate that play. And there's one out of the ninth. Is retired there is Stoles. He's getting under a lot of pitches today. And we're going to get a new hitter for the RedHawks in Kraus.
Number 20, Stephen Kraus.
And Steven comes in here in the 9 spot too. Looks like they'll replace Morissette in the lineup. First delivery to him is outside, 1-0.
Kraus is a big swinger. He's got a pair of home runs on the season, but it hasn't really translated to his batting average, hitting only 150 on the year.
Sky high fly ball, right side, out of play. It's foul. Just a few feet over that fence out there. Touche was in the area, ready to catch it.
It looks like he's limping out there.
Touche?
Right now, he's kind of running gingerly, but it looks like he was almost limping or hopping towards that ball when it went up. And they're going to go check on him.
That's a good pickup. Trainer's out to, yeah, and he is limping for sure now, walking toward the dugout.
I don't know what that would have been. And it might have occurred when on the Massman triple when he was chasing that one down. Might have just turned an ankle, and that's why it took him so long to get the ball back in. But they're going to replace him.
Yep. New player out there in right field for Kent State is number 32. That's Josh Johnson, sophomore out of Gibsonia, Pennsylvania, to replace Duchette, the 5-man.
He's not even running back to his dugout, just walking very slowly with the trainer.
That's just a weird way to exit a game, right?
It is, because it wasn't anything apparent. Obviously, we hope he's okay.
So the 1-1 pitch is on its way to Kraus. After that delay, 1 out, runner on third in Massman. Outside corner for the strike, 1-2 at 71.
Boy, that was a beautiful pitch. He started that way outside and just curved it right back to the outside corner. Kraus is thinking ball all the way, and just when he's past the point of no return of taking it, boom, it drops in there for a strike.
6-2 RedHawks trail in the bottom half of the ninth. 1-2 coming to Kraus. Sharp liner into the outfield. And the left side, it'll score Massman. As Kraus rounds first with the RBI single, able to get it on the ground past the shortstop McNamara. And the RedHawks bats are alive here in the bottom half of the ninth. It's a 3-run ball game as Massman in from third base.
Only one out as we turn back to the top of the lineup, and a guy who already has 2 hits in 4 plate appearances on the day. So the RedHawks aren't dead yet, but it is going to take a continued effort here with Kraus on first base and back at the plate.
First pitch to back is outside for ball 188 on the fastball.
This could be another situation kind of like Kent State did to Jacob Webb, where you just put a little bit of doubt in Zimmerman's mind, make him work a little bit.
1-0 is a strike. It's 1-1. Little floater over the plate, kind of breaking ball action at 71.
If you're Zimmerman, the attitude is very much, okay, we're still up by 3 runs and I only have to get 2 outs.
Yeah.
I can get it with 1 pitch here and a double play and we'll be okay. So you take a deep breath and you just plug away.
Swing and a miss from back, 1-2, 84 on the gun, little outside and low. Zimmerman is off the rubber, just kind of staring in. Of course, you got Kraus over there on first. 1-2 is on its way. Swing and a miss. Another 84-mile-per-hour off speed, outside corner. Maybe a little more outside than that, but nonetheless gets back to chase on that, and there's 2 outs in the bottom half of the ninth. And here's Vogelsang. RedHawks are down to their last out here. In a game that Miami led 2-0 at one point, Kent State scored 5 unanswered and then, or 6 unanswered rather, as the RedHawks finally responding in the bottom half of the ninth there. Vogelsang gets a bunt down third base side and no play on this. Beautiful job by Will Vogelsang, who used the speed. Ball kind of dribbled in there on Jackson, who really didn't charge it a whole lot. Vogelsang down the line. They're on first and second with 2 outs here in the ninth.
Jackson playing about 4 steps behind the third base bag, so normal depth, and he had no shot with where that ball was placed by Vogelsang. Just when you think, okay, you know, there's 2 outs, why risk a bunt? You know, it's got to be perfect to get it down, so he's probably going to swing away. Well, he drops one anyway.
Good heads up there. Ty runs at the plate. 2 outs in the bottom of the ninth.
We go all the way back to Stone, who drove in the first run of the ball game for the RedHawks.
They're down 6-3. Zimmerman's pitch. Stone swings and misses. Comes up empty. 89 on the gun that time. Maybe a fastball.
He wanted that one. That was a big hack at that one.
Lefty on lefty here.
Outfield is way back right now, playing just probably 5 steps in front of the warning track at all fields.
0-1 chin music up and in at 1-1. 90 on the gun. Stone takes his time. Fans are on the edge of their seats in McKie Field. One comes in. Swing and a miss. Fastball down the middle. RedHawks to their last strike is Stone with a whack at that one. Zimmerman will try to end it here. 1-2 with 2 outs. Bottom of the ninth. They're on first and second. RedHawks trail by 3. Kent State fans starting to clap as Zimmerman stares down Stone in the box. Time is called. That was a long stare down that time, and Stone finally had enough. So he'll step back in again after resetting. 1-2 from the stretch. Swing and a miss. Strike 3 at 91. That time from Zimmerman. Stone strikes out and the RedHawks fall in this one. The series finale on a Sunday afternoon, and the Kent State Golden Flashes by a final score of 6-3. Come from behind win by Kent State. Golden Flashes get it done after RedHawks had a 2-0 lead at one point in this game. Kent State 6 unanswered. Miami unable to respond late in this one when they needed to offensively.
Yeah, it looks a lot worse for Miami than it actually was. Like you said, for most of this ball game, we were 3-2, and Miami even held a 2-0 lead for until the 6th inning. So, you know, it looks a lot worse. It kind of got away from them in the 9th inning, but shout out to Kent State. We saw an excellent pitching performance from them. Both their starter, who had a little bit of trouble, but you know, stayed away from RedHawk bats for the most part.
Yep.
And then the bullpen was just shut down. And that really was the key, I think, for Kent State, because Miami's a hard offense to keep down. And if you're Kent State with the offense they have, it's hard to keep you down forever too. The RedHawks did it successfully for a while, and until about the 6th inning, and then they ran out of luck.
It's very hard. Kent State out hits Miami 9-8 today. They outscored the RedHawks, scored 6-3. Each team adding an error in this one as well, and the Golden Flashes improved their overall record to 17-18. They're now 10-10 in the conference this season. RedHawks are 19-15, 12-8 in the MAC now. RedHawks, Chris, going to Central Michigan Friday through Sunday series next weekend. Then they're on the road for a single game May 4th at BG. Critical stretch coming up here for Miami. They're on the road for the next several games, not back home until a little over a month from now with a home series against Akron, I believe. But so for Miami, where are you at this point in the season? What's your mentality headed to the road for a long stretch of time coming up?
Well, it's a tough stretch, like you said, being on the road for that long. And, you know, obviously it would have helped to split this series and win the series finale, have a little bit of momentum going in there. But they still have a winning record, and they're still 3rd in the conference. So if you're Miami, you just keep plugging away, rely on what got you here, and the weather's warming up. You don't have to play in, hopefully, terrible conditions pretty much every game like they've had to so far this season at home. So, you know, you hope as the weather warms up, the bats warm up a little bit, and if you can get the type of pitching performance, at least from a starting standpoint and from Kenton Egbert that we saw today, they're going to be okay. You just can't get too down after this series.
Right. Next 12 are on the road for the RedHawks. Swings through Central Michigan and Mount Pleasant. They go to Bowling Green for one on May 4th. Weekend series in Athens with the Bobcats May 7th through 9th. And then they go to Morgantown, West Virginia for a 3-game series with the Mountaineers of West Virginia May 14th through 16th. Another single game at Bowling Green Tuesday, so I miscounted. It's actually 13 straight on the road for the RedHawks before they're back home for a May 21st through 23rd home series with Akron to round out the home schedule for this season. It was fun, Chris, this afternoon.
Absolutely. I had a great time.
As the RedHawks fall 6-3 again in the series finale to Kent State. So for Chris Vinel, rest of our great Red Hawk radio crew working hard behind the scenes, Patrick Geshan saying so long, good afternoon here from McKie Field at Hayden Park as the RedHawks fall in this one. Thanks for listening, everybody, to this presentation of Miami Baseball on Red Hawk Radio.